Come on. Okay, I think that worked. Can you see and hear me right now, chat? Let me know. Excellent. Thank you, Claire. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Paleontologizing. Wonderful to see you here today on this beautiful and very hot Saturday afternoon. It is July 25th, 2026, out here in Grand County, Utah. We're in a place called Doling's Bowl, which is this remarkable little valley chock full of dinosaur fossils and the fossils of other important earliest Cretaceous critters. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist, and I'm here to show the field to the best of my ability. We're working here with the Utah Geological Survey, Government of Utah, under the Department of Natural Resources. And we are excavating fossils on federal land, your public federal lands, if you're an American. But in a way, these lands kind of belong to all the people of the world. The fossils that we're excavating here are going to end up in the permanent collections of the Utah Museum of Natural History, or rather, they switched the name. Now it's the Natural History Museum of Utah, NHMU. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. We're going to be checking out that bone that I was excavating yesterday, maybe putting a jacket on that today. And we've got some new people in the valley here today. We had about 25 students and a professor and some other people show up, and we've been using this opportunity to, talk about field paleontology and why this stuff is important. And so you're gonna meet some new folks today. I think most of them are off on a little excursion visiting the Mill Canyon Dinosaur Track site today. But we've got a few new people in the quarry, and excited to introduce you. Hello everybody. And we've got a bunch of new bones today, BDB Dawson, but yeah, a lot of them are not particularly photogenic. So far, the prettiest one is still the one that I found yesterday. And I've uncovered the full extent of it, for the most part. We now know what it looks like and what it is, so I'm excited to show that to you in just a little bit. But yeah, if it's your first time here, again, welcome. My name is Danny. I'm a paleontologist. A paleontologist is a scientist who studies fossils. That's the preserved remains of ancient living things. Everything from ancient bacteria to baleen whales. Fossil frogs to fossil ferns and everything in between. Dinosaurs are just the tip of the iceberg there. But dinosaurs happen to be what I study, what I publish on in the scientific literature, and what I excavate during the summers. So you're going to see some of that today, and I'm excited to show it to you. If you have any questions during this time, please do not hesitate to ask them. That's part of the beauty of a live broadcast, part of the beauty of the Twitch platform, is you can type your questions right there into the chat, and yeah, I'll do my best to answer them for you. We've got some people in the quarry who are far more knowledgeable than myself. People who have been digging dinosaurs for a combined total of like almost 100 years. So, yeah. I've only been doing this since 2011. This is my, depending on how you count it, either my 13th or my 22nd season in the field. Depending on how you count it. 13th summer, I think. Right? And 22nd field season, I think. Sometimes you do multiple field seasons in a year. This is my third field season this year. Was working in Wyoming in June, and then in Montana in late June, and now we're here in Utah. So anyway, if you got questions, concerns, remarks, exclamations, random emotes, don't be shy. Put them right there into the chat. Anywho, yeah. And good to see everybody. Jedi Mega Man, Mr. Drool Bucket. What is the largest intact fossil you have found? If you mean like single bones, the largest bone I've ever found was probably it's going to sound like I'm making it up, but it was a Tyrannosaurus femur up in the Hell Creek Formation. We didn't end up collecting it because it was just an isolated femur and not really scientifically important. We had more, yeah, more scientifically informative fish to fry or collect, however you want to. Analogy, turn of phrase, whatever. That was big. Like that sucker, that single femur is probably about 4 feet long, close to it. It was a big one. I uncovered the extent of it, and then we ended up not collecting it because there wasn't anything attached to it. If it had led to the rest of a skeleton, that would have been really exciting. But it was just an isolated femur, so yeah. But the largest dinosaur skeleton I've helped excavate, it might have been one of the first ones I ever did. The Yoshi's Trike site, Triceratops specimen. That critter is it's well over 20 feet long. The thing is, I've not worked on particularly large dinosaurs. I've never really worked on excavating sauropods, the big long-necked, long-tailed, four-legged plant-eating dinosaurs. Those are the biggest animals to have ever walked our planet. And apart from a few scraps here and there on little day trips, I've never actually worked at a sauropod quarry. So, yeah. And the dinosaurs we're digging here are not particularly huge. I'll show you. Anywho, yeah. And yeah, so the Yoshi's Trike, there you go, Claire, yeah, that's the Triceratops with the super long brow horns. That one, it's named after Dr. Yoshi Katsura, who was the guy who discovered it back in 2010, if I recall correctly. We went back the next year to dig up the rest of it after they got the skull. Anywho, it's good to have everybody here. Very full quarry today, as you can tell. Yeah, and we even have a fan favorite here today. This is my son Fisher. We'll go say hi to him in a minute, but he's engrossed in conversation. Let's go over here first. Let's see. And there is one of our generous benefactors, Dr. Ed Simpson. It's good to see you, Ed. On this side of the screen for once. Yeah. Here, I'm going to step carefully here. And then here. And then here. Okay. How you doing, Ed?
I'm hot.
Looks like you had some cold water, though. That's a good thing to have.
No, it's boiling warm.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Is that why it's cloudy? I was picturing condensation here.
I have electrolytes in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I have boiling lemonade.
I mean, that's kind of the natural state for water in this environment. It gets very, very hot, so.
Yeah. It's boiling.
Yeah. I like your Avalanche Rescue Dog shirt. That's representing a very different environment than we have here.
I can't compete with Don's shirt, so I have to,
Yeah.
I went dogs this year.
Yeah, nice. Ed, do you want to introduce yourself to anybody in the audience who might not know who you are or why you're a big deal?
I'm not a big deal. I'm a retired professor. So I'm no longer teaching, but I'm still doing lots of stuff.
Right, yeah. Still publishing papers, doing science, all that. So.
Yeah.
Is it easier to do when you're not teaching anymore?
Absolutely. Yes. It is. I don't have that.
Yeah.
That chaotic component that teaching brings.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a lot easier. I can take time out of different segments of the day as opposed to.
Right. Just being on a regimented schedule and office hours and grading and everything else. Oh boy.
So
yeah.
It's a lot easier. And
yeah.
Now living in Taos, New Mexico is like.
Sound really nice. Yeah. Whenever you want, just
almost.
Yeah. So, yeah. What are your accomplishments? You know, when people think of Ed Simpson, which publications are they thinking of?
I have absolutely no idea.
He's being really modest, Chad.
No, yeah. I don't know.
Huh. Interests, at least. Try and make it easier.
Historically, it's been all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm kind of ADD, and I did a lot of work in the Precambrian.
Okay.
Some of the Precambrian.
Neat. Microbial stuff?
Microbial, tidal deposits.
Neat.
All that stuff, it's ancient time ago. But
Not in terms of geological history, but this is
no,
earlier in your career,
yeah. You know, most of the people were, oh, when did you publish that? I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
So that's always that way. But I think digging dinosaurs was probably one of my favorite papers.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
That was a nice one. Then working with Jim on Utah Raptor Block was a good paper.
Right, yeah, shoot. That's really cool.
And hopefully, knock on wood, the one that's in review right now.
Jim was telling me about that. It sounds exciting. It's going to challenge some
Well,
certain notions that people have.
I have to sort of, how should I say this? We've got more hurdles to go through to prove what Jim wants to go on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, that's why this is science and not arm waving,
Yeah.
So you got to do the legwork. I'm mixing my metaphors here. I apologize. Arms, legs, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the Utahraptor has really well-preserved bacteria around the bone. And when you look at the size of those things, it potentially can mimic other kinds of structures that people have reported.
Interesting.
So that's the work we have to do to cross over those two types of structures. So we have to, look at feathers and is it, isn't it? So we've developed some criteria that allow us to say, okay, this is not modern.
Right.
Without using a lot of real high-tech toys, which are really expensive.
Yeah. So when you say to determine that these things are not modern, you mean the bacteria that you're seeing?
Yeah.
You have to make sure that that's not a recent introduction. It's part of the original fossil, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. Huh.
So I some of the Encalascore scutes here, I have bacteria on them.
Really cool.
Yeah.
From the Cretaceous.
From the Cretaceous.
Yeah.
And they're external molds of the bacteria. So that's a good clue that it's not modern.
Right, yeah.
So, because they're precipitating the cement around it. From up there, and I need to get some more.
Right, yeah.
Then I've got some dinosaur eggshells too.
Very cool, yeah.
They're transported.
Can ancient bacteria tell us about these environments or about maybe about dinosaurs in particular?
Well, it knew that, like bacteria attack fish.
Sure.
Help produce a process of fossilization. Do they come in and do it?
Right. So how do bacteria help with fossilization?
How do they have, tissue and all kinds of things, but what kind of fossilization do they impart on things like fish and, and bone and things like that? But there's a lot of bacteria out there, and we're just getting the instrumentation to allow us to resolve bacteria that are less than a micron.
Right. Okay. Shoot, less than a micron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's lots of stuff that's down there that is actually preserved that people didn't think would be preserved.
Right, yeah.
So.
I asked you this question last night when you rolled into camp, but...
Really? I don't remember talking to you last night.
We didn't drink that much. Shoot.
No, there was no drinking.
No, certainly not. No, not in the state of Utah. No.
Yeah, right.
No, but at Holzmaden, that site in Germany where all those famous ichthyosaurs are from.
Oh yeah.
And they've got like that film around them where it shows the dorsal fin and the tail fin and everything.
Yeah.
I've heard it suggested before that what's being preserved there is not the actual tissue of the animal, but instead a bacterial film that was kind of eating away at the carcass. But it's like a perfect silhouette of the critter.
Yep.
And
oh yeah, I believe totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So just trying to give the folks at home something to latch onto here, so it seems a little less arcane.
And it's you think about bacteria need good things to eat. And so as soon as it gets away from that environment of the soft tissue, that's not conducive to multiplying and things. So
they hew like perfectly to the silhouette of the animal, and they don't stray beyond that.
And that's true of like the Green River fish and things like that.
Right. So, cool.
So that's a more commonplace thing.
Neat.
It's the death mask. That's always such
death
a great
mask.
Death mask.
It's dramatic. It's got a pathos to it.
I didn't think of that.
But, really cool.
I mean, the death mask. People have talked about it for a long time, but it is definitely a real thing. And you know, they did experiments on it where they could see the stuff, but now we know that a lot of that death mask and what the composition of the various bacteria are that make that up.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. So
that's really neat.
And it's trying to get more specimens out under the right scanning electron microscope to get that kind of stuff. So
right.
There's a whole bacterial world that'll open up.
And this has been increasing in scope recently because SEMs are becoming more powerful and more common.
Oh my gosh.
So like, when did this kind of field start? Scanning electron microscopes weren't really available to researchers like you until when?
I used one in grad school.
Okay.
It was a behemoth.
Yeah.
You know, it took up a room, and the resolution wasn't very good. You couldn't do big specimens, but now the chambers are relatively large. And so you could. We actually put a complete track underneath in a scanning electron microscope.
Yeah. So a dinosaur footprint.
No, it wasn't dinosaur.
Okay.
It was smaller. What was it? Benedictium. Which is a small kind of lizard-like track.
Okay, cool.
And we stuck that underneath, and we could actually look at the microbial map, how it was changing from the edge
really neat. Yeah.
into the center and back out.
So as this critter was stepping down on the substrate, it's kind of breaking through a bacterial crust or film or something, and you can see that.
You can see it, and you can see it recovering in the track.
That's really cool.
Was thicker and more matte fibers preserved.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah. The whole track, and that's something you could.
Yeah.
And it's like the specimen that I put in for the Utah raptor would have not, the size of the specimen possible 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we use a field admission scanning electron microscope.
Okay.
So it's a more powerful, so it allows you to do higher resolution. But you can't do wide shots.
So you've got to be really cued in on a particular spot.
Cue in. You can obviously move around the specimen. But you cue in on the spots. But you can't go back and have the smiling insect.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Interesting. Okay.
So that allows you to go back in and you can it's the kind that you can resolve viruses and things like that.
Shoot. Wow.
Yeah. No, you can do viruses. Which is
wild.
Those are 100 nanometers across. So there is debate whether I actually have a Cretaceous virus or not.
Do they go like, ooh, don't bring those things back?
No, I showed a picture at SA and I had to put it. It looks like a virus.
Very cool. And of course, this is something fossilized. It's not going to reanimate.
No,
you don't have to worry about it breaking.
It's kind of beat up, but you look at it and go, that's a bacteriophage.
Yeah, very cool.
I still haven't been brave enough to try and publish that.
Yeah, because that's a big deal. What's that?
I saw a movie about that. Was it or something like that?
Nice. Well, really cool stuff, Ed. Yeah, thanks for talking with me. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll come back, I think, at some point during the stream and talk to you more about some stuff. But
you want to see the poopers?
Yeah, maybe in a little bit. I need to go get some water.
Yeah, it's up there.
That'd be really cool. We'd appreciate it. That would be really neat.
The magnitude of how spectacular the SEMs are now.
That would be awesome. Yeah, cool. Stay tuned for that, chat.
I know, you're sweating.
I need to get some water,
Yeah, you mean he sweats a lot.
I do. Well,
he works a lot.
It's an adaptation for desert living,
Yeah. No.
If I were not sweating, that's when things are.
Yeah, we'll get the ambulance out here.
Exactly.
The helicopter.
Yeah, we go get some water over there. And let me catch up to the chat.
Like that, And this
the Cretaceous is going viral. There you go, Charlie's Dragon. Yeah. All right. Oh, what's the current temperature here in the shade, by the way? Let's have a look-see. Oh boy, I think that's probably an overestimate, given it was in this pouch right under the shade tarp. We will set this here for a few minutes and let it kind of calibrate let it catch up to the actual air temperature. because I don't think it's 116 in the shade right now. I think that's too hot. I don't buy it. But, oh, hear that? Oh, so much ice in there. Oh, nice. Good stuff. I see it's dropping already. 115.0. Yeah, we'll set this here. And see what it gets to. What does this one say? Yeah, see, this is 104. That's much closer to the actual temperature, I think. Yeah. Yeah. And the Chile. This is what time period is the bed you're in right now? The Cretaceous period. We're in the very beginning of the Cretaceous. So, yeah. And Megathor 86, you're out in Phoenix right now. Oh, yeah. Ugh. Phoenix might even be hotter than this. I don't know. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome to Paleontologizing. Welcome to a live dinosaur dig out here in eastern Utah. If you're wondering where in eastern Utah we are, I'd say the town of Moab is the closest town of any real consequence to where we're at. It's about 50 miles away as the crow drives, maybe 15 miles as the crow flies. Yeah, so out in the desert. Arches National Park is just over there. You go up over that ridge, and then you can see Arches on the horizon. So that's why it takes so much longer to drive to Moab than to fly, I guess, if you're a crow. You got to go around Arches National Park to get to Moab. And yeah. I'm gonna get some more water before we go in. That was really nice. Gotta love that ice. And look, see, 112. Already dropping. That's closer to reality there. There we go. Let's go check out that bone from yesterday, huh? So those of you who were here yesterday got to see this being uncovered. And now I've got most of the aerial extent of it exposed. Been able to figure out what it is. This is our first kind of photogenic bone we've got so far.
I think over here. Why would move back to Canada in a hard. Great research.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out, but
Anywho, here we go. This has turned into a scapula, which is pretty exciting. I mean, better than a rib at least. Scapula is not one of the most diagnostic of bones, but it's a nice thing to have. So, scapula right here. Ethan, you're better at this than I am, the fine anatomy of appendicular elements like this. Where's proximal, where's distal, and how can you tell for something like this?
So the tricky part, I actually never use the terms proximal or distal with a scapula in particular because my brain doesn't understand which is which.
Gotcha.
And I could see you argue either way.
Yeah.
Right, because proximal is like proximity to the body, right?
Sure. Or to the center of mass, yeah.
And it's the way it's hanging on the side of the rib cage is like it could be. Yeah. I mean, I guess this end is more likely to be distal, right? Yeah. Anyway, this is where the shoulder joint is, where the upper arm bone, the humerus, and the coracoid bone attach, and then this is the uppermost part of the bone, or posterior most end of the bone, that forms the back of the shoulder blade. So this would be a right scapula, and then the right arm would come down this way.
Gotcha.
And in fact, Nick found something that kind of looks like a few finger bones, so who knows?
They could even
Those could be from the same animal, even though
the same,
they're not articulated right. Everything is fallen apart, but
yeah.
it's not out of the question that it's from the same individual skeleton.
That's funny, because you were describing this earlier, and I thought you were saying the opposite from what I thought it was.
Oh, no, we were on the same page.
Okay, yeah, I was like, let me have Ethan talk about this so I don't mislead everybody, but I totally thought this is where coracoid should be up here and humerus.
Exactly, yeah.
And then there's the end of the scap right there.
And it's this big thickening and expansion right here that lets you know that this is the shoulder joint end. I think it was Don. But as something's coming out of the ground, it's fun to change your mind as you get more info.
Oh yeah. Grab a diagram and I'll show everybody where the bone is on the body of this critter. So here's Iguanodon. Our animal wouldn't look exactly like this, but this is a member of the same family, Iguanodon today. And so let me orient it the same way. So scapula and scapula. So you see how the humerus, the upper arm bone, attaches right there, and we have the coracoid in front, right there. So shoulder blade, scapula. And there it is there, oriented in the same way. So, is that making sense? I'm so glad we've got semi-pretty looking bone to show off. There's bones all over the place, but I'm not just bragging here. Oh, I found this one. It's the prettiest. No. I think it is kind of the prettiest.
Yeah. Here's a cool little, maybe a caudal centrum.
Nice.
Or maybe another finger bone.
Yeah.
And Marcello has one that looks kind of similar. It's a little nicer than this one.
Lovely, yeah.
Yeah, Marcello's got a nice tail vertebra over there.
Cool.
Beep, beep.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah. Quincy.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I know, dude.
So yeah, there you go.
Quincy.
And randomness. Totally worth messing up my sleep schedule to watch this. I appreciate it. We're in like Europe or somewhere thereabouts, where it's already nighttime. I'm glad you're here. Do make sure you get some decent sleep though, you know? I care about my chatters. I don't want you to, not be feeling well because you didn't get enough sleep. So you can always watch Denmark. Very nice. Yeah, make sure you're taking care of yourself. But I appreciate you being here. Question from Euronymous. Do we know why dinosaurs are so oxygen levels at the time, or maybe temperatures? No, that's the thing. Here, let's talk about that. I do have a special command about this, because that's a question that I get quite a bit. But, let me grab my helmet too, so I don't have the sun just beating down on my skull. So, dinosaurs, on average, were larger than today's land animals. The largest animals that ever lived were the sauropods. Long-necked, long-tailed, four-legged dinosaurs. How in the world did they get so big? Like, sauropods were way larger than the very largest land animals today. The biggest animal walking around today is an elephant. And elephants can get up to, like 5 tons, something like that? They're pretty big critters. But mammals in general, elephants, camels, horses, rhinos, bison, things like that, they don't get nearly as big as the biggest dinosaurs. The biggest of the sauropods would weigh like maybe 70, 80 tons. They can be well over 100 feet long, so like well over 30 meters when they're like full-grown adults. How in the world does a critter get that big on land? It's a perennial question. I get this all the time. And sometimes people want there to be some sort of quick, easy answer, like a cheat code. Like, oh, well, maybe gravity was, less powerful back then, or the Earth was smaller, or there was much more oxygen or something. And none of those things make any sense. The Earth has not changed much in size since the time of the dinosaurs. oxygen levels rose and fell a bunch of times during the Mesozoic, but you still have giant sauropods living all over the place, regardless of that. Yeah, and gravity obviously wouldn't have changed significantly. So instead, the reason for why dinosaurs like sauropods were able to get so big, it's not one reason, but a bunch. There's a bunch of different things that all kind of fit together in order to allow sauropods to grow so tremendously large. One of the most important of those was their skeletal and respiratory system. So you know how modern birds have hollow bones? And they also have this cool respiratory system where they take in oxygen, they breathe in air, and then that goes into air sacs in their body. And those get distributed around, and then that goes into the lungs, and then they take oxygen out of that, distribute it to their cells, and all of this. That's not originally a bird thing. Dinosaurs seem to have first evolved that, and birds just inherited that. So the two-legged, mostly meat-eating theropod dinosaurs, many of which had feathers, but the sister group to the theropods is the sauropods, the big, long-necked, plant-eating dinosaurs. They also had those air sacs and hollows in their body. They had vertebrae that are just shot through with these holes. They're pneumatized, as we say. And so that would have made respiration much more efficient, so breathing. They were able to oxygenate their cells much more efficiently than. And also it would make them more lightweight, because there's more air inside their body than an equivalent sized mammal. So as you can imagine, air is a lot more lightweight than flesh. Animals were filled with air. I'm not talking about like a Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade balloon, but like a bird, That is one of the reasons why these animals were able to grow tremendously large, was that efficient respiration and just less density than you would have in, say, if you were to take an elephant and blow it up to the same size. You couldn't do that with an elephant. It would fall apart. Elephants, mammals in general, just far less efficient in terms of being able to breathe and being able to carry their mass on land. Dinosaurs were just built different. Especially the Saurischian dinosaurs, the sauropods and the theropods. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you for your question there. That's excellent. Basketball. What? Fall machine? A lot of them would have been way too big to fit on a basketball court. And Little Big Ian is looking at the iguanodon, able to make out what they are easily. I really struggled to match it up to that picture. It does take practice, yeah. Again, I've been digging up dinosaurs since 2011. Doing this for a good while now. Pretty much every summer. Sometimes going to multiple sites, working for multiple months out of the year. At this point, I've been working for, I think it's almost 6 weeks in the field. We'll say 5. We'll go easy. We'll say 5 weeks. Another 2 weeks out here, and then I'll probably be doing another week with Josh Lively later on at Laurie's site, and maybe I'll be doing some other field work in other places in the autumn. The point is, I've been doing this a long time, and you start to develop an eye for this kind of thing after a while. In fact, let's go ask Jameson about this. The youngest member of our high school, and he's just learning how to dig, how to identify, all of that stuff. So, learned so far. And I'm gonna put you on the spot here, Jameson. Maybe, if that's okay. Are you watching me right now on?
Trying to make sure you're not talking about them.
Well, I am talking about him, yeah.
Bones.
Jameson, what have you learned about how to identify bone in the field? And do you feel like you're getting the hang of it yet, or it's still kind of...
Well, a little bit. It's mainly just experience, and it really depends on where you are. Because I don't know if it's still here. This is a bone, and it looks nothing like another bone that he found here or here.
Yeah, but it can vary a lot.
It really just looks different than the rock that you're digging in.
So everything for
That's a good answer.
Since you're surrounded by this all the time, you know what that looks like.
Yeah.
If you see something different than that, you're like, oh, that's...
If there's something abnormal, you're like, what is this over here?
Exactly,
Good chance that it's bone. Yeah.
I think there's some really bad bone right there.
There we go, yeah.
So that's
Little pieces right there, yeah. So it's tricky, and like, it could be kind of nerve-wracking at first, right? Where it's like, I'm digging here, I don't know if I'm digging through a bone, I don't know what it looks like.
shoveling.
Yeah, but like, I mean, if you look at that, like, you can just kind of tell. Like, that's just...
And we've hit that with glue too, so it's gonna look even more different.
Yeah.
But like, by the end of the next 2 weeks, like, they're gonna be really good at this. So yeah. I like that he said comes with experience, because it totally does. So yeah, well done. Yeah. How you doing, Marcello?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
I'm doing real good. I'm happy.
Take us on a little bone tour over here. I'm sure you've got. I know you moved some jackets earlier from over here.
That's
you were
why
able to get some bones out.
That's why I'm happy. It's because I got rid of those 2 little bones that were bugging me.
Yeah.
So they were here.
Nice.
And they were like an associated. Well, I believe they could have been at least associated caudalverts, and they were just hanging out. So I threw a cap on the bigger one yesterday, and flipped it today. Threw it on the mapped, and then the second one I also mapped, and it's gone now. They're both gone, and they're both over there. So I took care of my bones, and now I'm ready for the next one.
Yep.
Yep. Here we go.
It's so nice when you can just clear away that area and like I can just dig with abandon now.
Yeah.
I don't have to go around this thing. I don't have to be real careful. Like you can just dig through and hope to find more bones.
And I want to
get to watch out for those. So it never stops, I guess.
Yeah. I want the more the merrier. I want to get them all under my belt. Get as many bones collected as I can. Collected as I can.
Heck yes.
So here we go. 2 down.
Nice. Probably 40 more to go.
40 more to go. 40 million.
Hey, let's go take a look at some of those over there.
I know. We're so close.
There we go. Here's some that we've got over here. These are little mini field jackets, gypsona jackets. So each one of these contains a little bone, and they're numbered like this. Before we take the map, so 696, that means this is the 690th collected from first year working here. It's my first year working in this hole, but Jim and others have been working here for a good while. And right here, we'll bug Don. He's putting them onto the log sheet. You can keep working. I'm not trying to interrupt.
I just did this little guy.
Yeah, there's the map right there.
700. Whoop.
700.
I just lost it.
Nice. All right, we're in the 700
And
club now.
at least 100 of them are good. Well, anyways, it was mapped over there, and then finished up the log sheet.
Nice. So each one of these is meticulously documented, and this is one of the reasons why this is different from like a commercial operation in a lot of ways. Like, if we were out here trying to dig up these bones on private land to sell them, you know, in an operation like that, time is money. Like, you don't want to stop and meticulously map everything out and collect all of these data and everything.
But here, since we're getting paid by the hour,
you're getting paid by the hour. Oh, we're volunteers out here. But yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are nuts.
Yeah, well, like Claire says in the chat, real paleontologists do the science. I mean, yeah. I'm not here to like slag off commercial collectors, particularly. Maybe a little, but you know, this is scientific work that we're doing here. This is precise. It takes time. It's, you know, it's not a slapdash operation.
Well, in most other aspects it is. But the science, we're getting right after it.
Oh, well said.
Have you seen our camp?
They haven't yet, but we'll do a camp stream at some point, probably. But yeah. Anyway. Well, thank you, Don. Let me know if you got any other questions, chat.
Be sure to tip your weight, Chris, and I'll be back on at 7.
You'll be here for the next 2 weeks, chat.
There's a new Curtis Curling down.
Amy, do you want to say hi to the camera, or?
Hi, camera. Hello. I'm Dawn's better half. I come out here for 3 days.
Yeah.
I haven't been out for maybe 6 years.
It's my first time seeing you out here in the field, which is really cool. Because normally when I see Amy, it's back at the house. It's Dawn and Amy's Paleo Hotel. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's really Dawn's Paleo Hotel, but I married into it. But I did on his, I don't know, one of his birthdays, I had a wooden sign created that says Dawn's Paleo Hotel. That's his favorite present I've ever given him.
That's really cool. Wow. Yeah.
It's got a little Diablo on it.
It's got a Diablo on it. And
Yeah,
on
Diabloceratops. Yeah.
60th birthday, the Tour de France flag that he puts out in front of the house in July when the Tour de France is coming. And on his 60th birthday, I had a cast made for him of Diablo, which sits on our fireplace.
That is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in somebody's house.
Everybody who comes like, can I take a picture?
Yeah, it's so cool.
If I'm on a Zoom call or something, we're like, is that a dinosaur behind you? Yeah, that's a dinosaur behind me.
That's so awesome. Yeah. Dawn discovered Diabloceratops, if anybody's wondering why we're talking about it with such familiarity. But yeah. So where does the Paleo Hotel come in?
Because since Dawn has had that home, people who come out to the field, because we get students from all over, they stay at the house. So it's Dawn's Paleo Hotel. So before they come out to the field, they come in either days before.
It's nice kind of landing pad for And like sometimes people are flying in from other countries and they're jet lagged, and it's nice to be able to kind of recuperate.
Yeah.
It is you have a beautiful home.
Thank you.
You really do. So I've stayed there a number of times. There's a guest book that people sign.
Everybody signs the guest book.
No, I forgot to get Chemo and Raheem to do it the other day. I can add them in.
Yeah.
It's just not as much fun.
Yeah. So, yep.
Yeah, if I have someone from like China or like Morocco, have them right.
That's really cool. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody. Dawn's Paleo Hotel. Yeah. 5 would stay again. I didn't stay this year because I drove in, but if people fly in, often they stay at Dawn's Paleo Hotel. Let me go get some more water before I eat quarry. But yeah. And Golgan, yeah. You know who made Gaston from Gaston Designs? So it's funny just how much overlap there is between different folks, and it's a small world, you know. Yeah. And Trek Nerd. Oh, the Tech Bird, rather, says a paleontologist with a nice house? What? I mean, yeah. I think, what's that phrase? I think Dawn married well. Yeah, Amy, she's pretty good with money. So they do have a very nice house. And they're always happy to share that with folks, and we're very grateful for that. It's funny because you go from that environment to like living out in the desert, and you're just like wiping dust out of your nostrils during every waking hour and sleeping in a tent and all that. It's a big contrast, but it does emphasize how nice their house is, which is kind of, I think it's funny. Yeah. Claire says he's lucky she puts up with him, huh? Maybe a little. They make a good team, Dawn and Amy. Yeah. There we go. Charlie's Dragon says you get dust in places you didn't know you had. Well, I'll put it this way. Every year, the most lengthy and thorough showers that I take are always when I'm coming back from the field, where like, you know, it might be in there for like an hour in the hotel on the way home, just trying to thoroughly clean up. And I always feel bad for the you know, the cleaning staff at the hotel. I try and clean the shower really well after I've taken the shower, but it's probably still pretty dirty. But that said, over the past few years, I've taken to using wet wipes just every night before I get onto my cot and go to sleep in my tent. And that really does help cut down on the grime and dust and everything else, you know? And this year, it's funny, like each year you kind of learn a little bit more, you get a little bit better at doing this sort of thing, come up with new tips and tricks. And this year I found it's like a pump bottle. It's like a men's shower gel stuff that you could just put onto a wet wipe, and then I wipe off with that, and it's almost like a mini shower every night, you know. That's really nice to have. It's also moisturizing too, which in an environment as dry as this, that's nice to have, you know. So I'd recommend it. I'm not sponsored by that company, so I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to give them free advertisement, but yeah, just the concept, you know? Having like a shower gel stuff that you can put onto a wet wipe and use without water is it's a really nice thing, especially when it's moisturizing. Yeah. And Chagrin Falls, thank you for your continued support. 6 months there? Thank you kindly. And Lenina says, no more stratigraphic layers of sunscreen and dirt. Not anymore. That's a thing of the past for me. I'm a clean boy now, you know? And Chloe says, do you learn new stuff with digging up bones? Every bone I excavate, you know, I learn new things. And it's been that way since 2011 when I started digging dinosaurs. Each site is different. You're just constantly learning new techniques, learning what to do and what not to do, having new ideas. That's one of the reasons why we have things like technical sessions at scientific conferences, where like we will get together at a scientific conference and give presentations about, well, here's a certain excavation technique that we've developed, or here's a new that helps us I don't know, do an excavation more smoothly. It helps us, I don't know, I'm trying to think of too hokey. Here's a new measurement tool that we have in order to be able to properly document our sites, things like that. So we're always trying to adapt to new developments and figure out slightly better ways of doing things year after year after year. And each field crew will do things differently. There's not a standard way necessarily to excavate a fossil. There's always going to be subtle differences. People prefer different tools, different methods, different ways of mapping and collecting data. No two crews are the same, and no two excavations are the same either. The fossils are going to be different. The surrounding rock, what we call the matrix, is going to be different. We have varying budgets each year, stuff like that, you know? So, yeah, every site is different, and every summer is different. And you're welcome, Chloe. Thanks for the question. Yeah. Yeah. And from Akira Clips, are there any other ways bacteria can help you learn it from the fossils and the dinosaurs they're from? So one of the things that Ed was kind of hinting at a little bit was with fossil feathers, it might not be the actual feathers that are being preserved. That might actually be like a bacterial film over the feathers. So the feathers might be gone, and what's preserved is like an exact death mask of the feathers. There is a chance, too, that some stuff that people have been getting really excited about, like melanosomes on the feathers, in the feathers, the things that we can use to determine the color of the animal in life, that might just be the bacteria doing that. It might not be the actual melanosomes, and that might have some bearing on whether or not we're getting those colors right. So, yeah, that's interesting. I feel like some folks might be a little disappointed by that there might be some more complexity or nuance and not just, oh, this shape of melanosome corresponds to this color feather. Maybe we're actually looking at the shape of bacteria instead of melanosomes. Anyway, it'll be interesting when these papers are published. We'll cover that on the stream when it comes out, and we'll talk about it. So stay tuned for that. That could be later this year, could be in a while, who knows. Yeah, and howdy, Petrodactylus. Hello, hello. Yeah, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Here, without further ado, we have a Paleontologizing fan favorite here that we should go say hello to. My only begotten son, Fisher McDonald, has just joined us last night. How you doing, Big Fish?
I am alive.
It's good to have you here. We really missed you, man. Shoot. Yeah. You tell us where you were?
I was in southern Australia.
Yeah.
State of South Australia. I was there for some field work, and then I spent another week just doing some leisurely activities.
Nice. Very cool. What was your that you spotted there?
Favorite mammal? Let's see. So, short-beaked echidna.
Oh,
shoot! It was very briefly. It was just crossing the highway at night, and so I didn't really get a good look at it. I pulled over to the side of the road, and I was like, I gotta go see this echidna. So I grabbed my headlamp and my phone, and I locked my car and ran up the highway to go look for it. And by the time I got up there, it was gone. So I think of the yellow-footed rock wallaby was pretty.
That's awesome.
Yeah. These little foot-tall little wallaby, with a striped yellow tail, yellow feet, and they're hopping around on this scree slope up in the mountains in the Flinders Range. I saw a couple fighting with each other, scratching at each other. It was really cool. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So, if any of you are wondering, why didn't Fisher join you guys at the beginning of the season at Doling's Bowl? He was in Australia hanging out with marsupials and monotremes, so I think that's a defensible reason. So, anyway, it's good to have him here. And what's funny is, we had to find a spot for Fisher to dig, and as soon as you sat down, you just found a bone. You're like, did you guys see this?
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly a bone that had been exposed to the elements for a while. It was bleached by the sun, pure white, you can see surface collecting.
And that's under the gypsona right now?
So,
nice.
To Don's chagrin and my amusement, he was not happy with me capping it.
What? You're just trying to protect.
Yeah.
Oh well,
it's well, I would have just popped that one out. It's all right.
Okay, yeah. I would say better safe than sorry, but
I agree.
When you're the boss, you gotta find ways to,
I think Don also wants to just, assert dominance.
I was gonna come up with a different way of saying that, but yeah.
Part of the equation is that we don't have a lot of gypsum.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
It is a limited commodity, yeah. So if anybody in the chat wants to contribute some gypsonas, we wouldn't say no to that. That's these, by the way, these pre-soaked plaster bandages. This is a gypsona roll right here. So it's basically a gauze. This is a medical supply. So you can use this for making an old-fashioned cast on a broken limb or something. But it's like a gauze-like material, and it's pre-soaked or pre-coated with plaster of Paris. And so all you have to do is soak this in a little bit of water, and then you've got an instant plaster bandage like that.
This guy's a pro.
So. Yeah.
So I
hope that makes sense. Yeah. Anywho. And first time chat from Hand Sandwich. Has keratin ever fossilized? And give an example of one. Oh yeah. We'll go say hi to Jameson in a minute. He's right there.
Hi.
Jameson.
I'm learning about phylogeny.
Yeah?
Weird.
Nice.
I've learned Archosaurs went into Pseudosuchians and Ornithodira.
Yeah. Which includes dinosaurs.
Which includes dinosaurs and pterosaurs.
Yep.
Dinosaurs went into Saurischians and Ornithischians.
Yep.
And Thoracians went into theropods and sauropods.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's in the Ornithischians?
Iguanodonts and Kylosaurs.
Iguanodonts are kind of ornithopod.
Yeah. Ornithomimids.
No, they're theropods.
Oh, yeah. Oh, because they have two legs.
With the sacral shield in place over the back.
You're getting there. This is awesome.
Stegosaurus.
The only animal, I knew enough.
Triceratopsids.
The only animal.
He's learning. Jameson's Aunt Teddy says hello.
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah.
She's gonna pick me up.
We've got it, and the guy goes,
Nice.
yeah, we
Soon, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that what, tomorrow?
It's either tomorrow or in a week and a half.
Okay.
He's working at the
We'll figure it out. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, Jameson has learned so much. It's I don't know. It's always cool when somebody's really enthusiastic about learning this stuff. Yeah.
Rich people buy it, and and I got him involved in the dig.
We're gonna ask Jim about keratin.
Keratin.
Sheath on the. What do you think it takes to preserve keratin, or no?
Keratin's pretty tough than a lot of materials.
Yeah.
Just in terms, it's an organic material, but it's.
Yeah.
And it's set up for wear and impact. In defense of animals.
Right.
The things you're going to use that are external that aren't bone itself. Out of the door. It's tough material, giving you greater opportunity to preserve it.
Right.
It's one reason you see like Archaeopteryx, you don't see a preserved liver.
No.
Or heart.
But you do have preserved
the feathers and they're keratin.
Yeah.
They're more preserved, better preserved. Than the soft organics.
Sure.
So they're going to be they're a bit tougher. A lot, dinosaur skin, hadrosaurs and stuff. They have scales. And this is the thing. It's like, no, these things are not all feathered. You may have bristles between scales.
Yeah.
Those skins, that's keratin preserving.
Nice.
You're looking at an impression of the skin. Very rarely do we get actual skin mineralized.
Right.
But it's tough. It's got, a cow will draw rawhide out here. Thick hide. And and we found hadrosaur skin in Mexico.
Yeah.
With oysters growing on it.
Shoot.
Yeah. Dried to rawhide, salt cured.
Yeah.
So it's tough stuff, but it's the keratin that's part of what makes it tough. And dermis material with the collagen in it is one of the toughest materials.
Yeah.
The first organic materials ever proposed was collagen.
Right. Yeah.
So it's, that's why we have the greatest opportunity to get that stuff. They call it soft tissue.
It's not always soft.
But it's tougher soft tissue than most.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim. Yeah. Cool. If anybody's curious about what keratin is, I should have introduced this concept before. I don't know, it's a live broadcast. These things happen. But keratin is the same material that your fingernails are made out of, and your hair, and to a certain extent your skin. So it's not bone, but it's a good sneeze, a yawn, just yawn. It's a really versatile kind of structure. Keratin is used in all kinds of stuff, and if you've ever if you've ever trimmed a dog or cat's nails, you're cutting through the keratin, and then if you cut too close to the paw, they might actually bleed. That's when you're actually getting into the blood vessels and stuff like that supply the keratin with nutrients. But the keratin is just like the, fingernail type material. And we've got a number of different times where that material has actually been fossilized over the bony part of the claw. So when you go to a museum and you look at a dinosaur skeleton that's mounted there and there's claws on it, what you're seeing, that's the bony core of the claw. That's literal bone. We call it the ungual, ungual. But then on top of that would have been a keratinous sheath, like a horn sheath, a keratin sheath over the top of it. Kind of like, I don't know, sometimes cats will actually shed those sheaths from their claws. If you live with cats, you've seen these probably. Dinosaurs did that too. Modern birds have that. Lizards and turtles have that. Keratin over the bony part of the claw. So I hope that makes sense. Best of the Stream says like cats have. Bingo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Ham Sandwich says, is that the Jim Kirkland? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's Papa Jim there. Utah State paleontologist. We'll go talk to Jim later on, but first I want to go get some more water, and we'll meet some of the other folks in the quarry. But Ham Sandwich, I'm glad you already know of Jim. He's it's kind kind of a living legend, you know? I've been working with Jim out here since 2022, so this is my 5th year out here on the crew, and yeah, it's always cool hanging out with him. He is just a fount of knowledge, and he's not shy about sharing it. Smoky Rebels, how are you doing? Hello, hello. Yeah. HD and HB says Triceratops horns have keratin over them. Yeah, all the ceratopsid dinosaurs with horns had keratin over those horns. So what you're looking at when you look at the skeleton is just the bone, but the horns in life would have been even longer and sharper because they would have been covered by that keratin sheath. So good point. Thank you. Yeah. And has keratin ever been preserved on a Triceratops horn? Kind of, yeah. Here, I'm gonna go over here. Hopefully I don't lose the signal. It's not common, but I've actually prepped a few Triceratops specimens where there's kind of a weird, almost waxy kind of matrix over the horns and frills, and that very well might be like partly fossilized keratin. I was prepping a Triceratops fossil at Museum of the Rockies. I think it was Mark's Trike 2, and yeah, there was this weird kind of like filmy kind of crust over the surface of the, I think, the parietals. It's like, what is this? And I called over John Scanella, and he's like, I don't know what that is, but it's weird. I guess keep removing it. And then he goes off into his office, and he comes back a little bit later, and he's like, wait, hang on. What if that's keratin? Not just over the horns, but over the frill. He's like, maybe leave some of that so we can look at it. And I don't know whatever became of that, but I'm also trying to help a young woman. Yeah. Yeah. There's a decent chance that Triceratops may have had not just keratin over the horns, but over the surface of the frill and the face, too. So, weird and cool. All right, let's see what our current temperature is and get some water. Yeah, so we're down to 105. This is the actual air temperature here in the shade. 105.
Thank you.
I buy that. What was it, 114 or something earlier? No way. 105, that sounds right. And 12% humidity, that's still a little higher than it often is here. In previous years, it's gone down into the single digits and just stayed there for weeks. So, yeah. Dry, dry, dry out here. And full coverage keratin makes sense, honestly, says Casey. Yeah. Casey, if you want to look at a reconstruction of this, the Triceratops from the game Saurian, really, really well done. And they have like a full keratin sheath over the whole face, essentially. So if you look up Saurian Triceratops in an image search, you'll see that. And I think it's really compelling. Given that these animals, their horns and frills probably evolved as, you know, display features first and foremost, it would make sense for those to be covered with keratin, because keratin is, it's not particularly expensive to grow. Like, it's cheaper to grow than bone. It takes less energy. And you can produce it in just about any color. So keratin is a really cool kind of structure to have. And it would make sense if it just covers the whole face. They've got this big elaborate frill and these horns. If the whole thing is covered with keratin, it could be whatever colors, really vibrant patterns. It would be great for display. And that's the sort of thing that could even change season to season. So like maybe during the mating season, if there is a mating season, if they don't breed year round, then you could have like, you know, special coloration for that time. Yeah. Keratin is cool. Love how they tried so hard to be scientifically accurate. They did a pretty good job. There's still some things I would change, obviously, but I think they did a superb job. Yeah. And Pachycephalosaurs and color, exactly, Casey. Yeah, yeah. And Ham Sandwich says, isn't there an idea that Triceratops had quills on its back? There is, and I wonder about that. That mostly stems from a Psittacosaurus fossil that was found with what look like quills on the tail. See if I can find you an image. Quills. There we go. There's a reconstruction of it right there, with these quills on the tail. Psittacosaurus is a very early horned dinosaur, one that didn't have horns yet. Quills or bristles or something like that. There's one fossil that seems to show this, and there's potentially some problems with it. Because this was illegally smuggled out of China, it was stolen, it was still published on for some reason. Yeah. But it has what look like quills coming off of the tail. Not everybody is convinced that that's real, though. Like, it's actually part of the animal. In fact, I want to ask Jim about this right now, because Jim has a take on this that I think is interesting. And, yeah, let's see what Jim has to say, and then maybe we'll walk around and talk to some other folks, too.
I like that.
I mean,
It's okay if I step right here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Jim, I wanted to get your take real quick. Maybe it's evolved recently.
It's always evolving.
The Psittacosaurus quill hypothesis.
I still am a real doubter.
Yeah.
They still haven't got a second specimen.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one specimen, and there's like 100 of them with skin.
And just one that seems to have these bristly, quilly things.
Yeah, and the Chinese, when I work with my Chinese colleagues, they're all like, yeah, that's some kind of weird plant stuff. It's something else. They're Chinese are totally convinced of it. They go, we've dug up over 100 of these things. None of them show that feature.
Right.
I mean, that was a stolen specimen.
Yep.
That showed, and they put it on all in ceratopsians.
That's the question that I got, was what do you think about the idea that Triceratops
I
had
won't
quills?
buy a reconstruction of a ceratopsian with butt plugs.
Yeah.
I will not even buy it.
Yeah.
It is just like,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we found out that this primate has blue eyes. Every hominoid does.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Jim.
I
Yeah.
have strong feelings there. I can't prove it's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, but I seriously doubt it.
Yep. Here, let's go bug Don for a second.
That's the way science is.
Can we take a look at your shirt today, Don?
Oh, I didn't wear a race shirt.
Oh, no race shirt today. Okay, interesting.
It's not like Climbers Alliance.
Yeah.
I think it's got Lone Peak Cirque in the back.
Oh, that's really cool. That's a really neat shirt.
Amy was on the board of SLCA.
Yeah? Oh, good. Yeah.
Psittacosaurs.
And here, Eliza, can I bug you for a minute, too?
Please.
Yeah. All right, let me scoot behind you real quick, Laura. I'm just going to step behind you, if that's okay. Not going to step on the bone. There we go. Yeah. So, Eliza came in with a whole bunch of students last night. We've got this big crew of like 25 plus people who joined us last night. They're here for just a couple of days. But Eliza also does science outreach. And so I was eager to talk to her about this. Do you want to go sit over there for a minute? Yeah. It was really neat chatting with you for just a little bit last night. And I was thrilled that you said you'd be interested in like a little bit. So. Yeah, here we can sit down.
Let's do it.
Yeah, do you want to introduce yourself to the chat real quick?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm Todd. I mostly talk about paleontology, but I love all aspects of science communication, and I love talking about all aspects of science itself. But my passion definitely lies in paleontology. I love field work, I love quarry work, I love prospecting. Any way I can get my hands dirty and get my hands on some fossils, I'm there. So I'm really feeling very lucky that I get to participate in the hottest quarry on Earth.
I know,
maybe?
yeah, it really feels like it. Yeah. My thermometer over there, do you want to know the temperature, or would that not help?
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, it was 5.4 just a minute ago in the shade. So I feel like it's cooler under here, but yeah, that's what we're dealing with.
Okay, that feels right.
So where can folks find you?
Absolutely, you can find me mostly on TikTok and Instagram at LizMoPetey, LizMoPetey.
Okay.
And you can find me posting about all things science. I love it. I also do a little bit of sketch comedy. If you've ever seen the Meteor video, that's me. It went pretty big.
Nice.
For is a little bit of dinosaur sketch comedy too.
Very good. I feel like I've heard of this. Yeah.
You might have it years ago. So.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. And you said you've gotten from this from just a science communication background. You've got some experience in paleontology before this, like.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I actually started as an intern when I was a high school senior here in Utah, at the Natural History Museum of Utah in the anthropology labs.
Interesting.
And so I was doing a little bit of work in anthropology, sorting through some collections, helping our staff digitize some things, and then I made the horrible choice of accidentally signing up for paleo field work instead of anthro field work.
Wait, really?
Yeah, really.
This is a legit goof?
It was a legit goof. And then I went out with the paleo field crew and I got hooked. It was so fun. And I swiftly learned that dinosaurs are so cool. Yeah. And it's so much fun to just dig up a bunch of fossils all day.
Nice, very cool, yeah.
And so I started volunteering more with the Natural History Museum of Utah in Salt Lake City.
Yep.
And I made some really great connections, and being able to hear from wisdom keepers about fossils in Utah was so invaluable to my experience. And then went to the University of Utah to study more about paleontology. And a lot of my science and academic background is in comparative vertebrate paleontology and now paleobiology, which is very, very fun.
Very cool. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and I'm having a great time learning more. I think you can never learn too much.
Absolutely.
Lifelong learner over here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite fossil critter, or maybe a few? It's so hard to pick one.
It's so hard to pick. I love phytosaurs. I'm a really big phytosaur person. I think that was like my first big find, like all on my own in the field.
Okay.
Was a really beautiful phytosaur skull, snout and all. I mean, it was gorgeous.
Can you explain to the chat what a phytosaur is, if anybody's
yes, of course.
unfamiliar?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're unfamiliar with a phytosaur, it's like a really weird-looking, not crocodile.
Right. They were crocs before crocs were a thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the biggest difference that I like to identify between a crocodile and a phytosaur, it's all in the snout. Where modern day crocodiles will have their nostrils all the way down at the end of their snout, phytosaurs had their nostrils right next to their eyes.
Yeah. Almost like a whale or something like that. Almost like a blowhole, but it's double. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they have this really beautiful rosette at the end of their snout that fossilizes so beautifully, and these beautiful sharp teeth that stick out at the end. But their nostrils are right up at a very bulbous part of their head, right next to their eyeballs, and so they look very goofy, but they're so endearing, and I think they're so fun to find.
They're super, super cool, and they're generally pretty common too. So like I've heard that you can actually use phytosaurs to do biostratigraphy in the Triassic.
Absolutely.
Because they evolve so quickly and they're common enough that like if you find a particular species, you know you're in this particular rock layer. So they could be really useful scientifically that way. So,
absolutely. If anybody gets a chance to head down to St. George, there are some really cool things you can see. The last phytosaur is one of the coolest things ever. It's actually an impression of the latest time we have phytosaurs, and it's actually pushed into the rock, and you kind of like look up from underneath and see this impression of a phytosaur skull as like the latest time that we're actually seeing phytosaurs in the fossil record. It's
cool.
An incredible find.
The last of its kind, pretty much, that we know of. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it's maybe there's some more recent ones. I would love to find that.
Yeah. Somebody will someday, probably.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But that's definitely one of my favorites. I love all kind of crocodilomorphs in general. I think they're so cool.
Very cool. I'm not looking at my watch right now. I'm looking at the chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I heard you used the term wisdom keeper earlier, and I thought that was really interesting. Tell us about that. Yeah.
Well, I think that all wisdom keepers is kind of a general term used for where you can gather knowledge from reputable sources. Unfortunately, traditional college education isn't actually accessible for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm very open with like my background in education because it is so non-traditional. I actually tried to go to college when I was 18.
Yeah.
And I got diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
The week I went to college. And so unfortunately
timing,
I had to pick between paying for college or paying to get treatment. And I chose to get treatment. I felt like that was the best choice for me in that time.
Yeah.
But by doing that, I wasn't able to get a traditional college education at the same time as my peers in the exact same way.
Right, yeah.
And so a lot of my early education in paleontology was from the people that I surrounded myself with, including professors from the University of Utah that I was interacting with and learning with just in a completely different environment than in a traditional classroom setting. But a lot of the people I was learning from were also not college professors, but were professionals in this field.
Right.
And they were also teaching me, and they were all teachers in their own way. And so I use the term wisdom keepers as people that are actively teaching in a way that isn't necessarily a traditional classroom setting.
Sure, they don't have to be a professor or an adjunct or something. Like, you can learn from all kinds of different people because, especially in paleontology, it's so much about experience.
Yes.
And like, what have you actually done? You know, have you worked on these things? It's so much more about doing than it is about having a slip of paper at the end of the day. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I can really relate to what you're talking about here because I haven't talked about this too much on stream before, but I have kind of a non-traditional background too, where I couldn't afford to finish my undergrad. It was kind of a choice between like continuing to go to school for one semester and then work 2 semesters to save up, or just, you know, do a little bit of work and then continue to do field work, lab work, stuff like that, and just not take classes. And so I had to make a choice there, and I'm really glad I chose the path that I did, because here I am today. And
exactly.
Yeah.
And now you yourself are a wisdom keeper, and you are you are sharing that, and you are actually continuing that.
Trying to, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I think that as our roles as science communicators with the public, we are now taking on that role as wisdom keepers too. And so finding knowledge from wisdom keepers, just because you aren't getting information in a classroom that's not always accessible, you can find information from people that are excited about it, and that's important too.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of like my background and how I got excited about it, and now I'm so excited that I'm excited about it and sharing that with other people.
It's so much fun to talk about this, yeah, shoot. I'm so glad you're out here. This is so cool.
I know, this is awesome. Yeah. This is awesome. And I did find a bone, if you want to.
Let's go take a look, actually, if you want to. Yeah.
This has been really cool. So what I'm kind of doing is like moving the shelf that I'm working on back a little bit.
Hard drive on my desk.
I'm gonna step right around here. Little bones sneaking out.
Is it okay to step here?
Yeah, I've got some tiny bones right here, that's why I'm covering it.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you, Kristen.
I'm gonna just separate from you. All right.
Nice.
And then we got a little bone right here coming out of that rock. So we're just kind of trying to move this back, brushing that off, kind of slowly chipping away, putting a little bit of consolidant on that just to keep it safe, and that's kind of what we're working on right over here.
Excellent. That's very nice.
That's one of the few places that you can just
so we're just gonna see how far we can get.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Eliza.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Let me find a nice escape route through here.
For sure.
There we go. Nice. So yeah, folks, if you're not yet following Eliza, I think she's got a really tremendous following on Instagram and TikTok. So check out her stuff. We might go talk to her again in a little bit. But yeah. Here, let me tell Eliza that. We've got several chatters. Eliza's saying, like, let us know if you ever want to consider streaming on Twitch, because they think you'd be perfect for this.
Oh my goodness, I have streamed on Twitch exactly 0 times.
Okay, yeah.
Ever. But if I can make a small plug, I'm actually in the process of making fossil casts for educational purposes, specifically fossil casts of Utah-specific fossils that there are no casts of anywhere else. And I'm actually really excited about it. So if you would be interested in seeing how that process works, that's actually something I would be really interested in sharing. And so I'm really glad to hear you say that, and that is absolutely something that I'm gonna commit to it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm ready.
Awesome, yeah. Let me know, and if you ever want to do a collaboration or something on Twitch, I'd be 100% for that, so.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm committing. I'm doing it. We're rolling with it.
Awesome, cool. Thanks, Eliza. Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, very, very cool. Again, I had no idea that there'd be a fellow professional science communicator here visiting us, so this was a real surprise, and glad we got to connect with Eliza. But yeah, isn't she great? Yeah. One of us, says Casey. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, temperature's going up. There we go. Awesome. Not the temp. Well, I guess the temperature is awesome in like oh boy kind of way. But Eliza's awesome. We were talking about maybe me coming out to Utah at some point and then visiting her lab and like showcasing this process of creating these casts. She makes them with concrete rather than resin or plaster, which I think is really neat, and I have not seen this done before. So it's something I'd love to be able to share with all of you if you'd be interested in that. I will be coming through Utah a couple more times at least this year, so maybe that'll work out schedule-wise. We'll have to keep in touch, me and Eliza, and see about that. So yeah. But yeah, you like that idea, Charlie's Dragon, Lenina? That would be pretty cool. Yeah. So anywho, and Vexy says, is there a reason why she uses concrete instead? She was telling me that it gives the fossils a more authentic kind of weighty feel, so that when she's going around to different classrooms around the state, the students are more engaged. You know, if they feel something and it's plastic, they go, you know, kids are often devastatingly keen interpreters of genuineness. What do I mean by that? Like, they could tell if something's fake. If something feels fake, they just kind of tune it out, you know? So when she tells somebody that something is a replica, you know, she's going to be totally forthright about that, but when she hands them a fossil and it feels heavy, there's an authenticity to that, even though it's a replica, that you just kind of can't get with lightweight resin. That was the idea that she was telling me. And again, if we do a stream, she'll talk all about this. So I'd go and ask her about it, but she's doing other stuff right now, and I don't know. I don't want to monopolize her time. But yeah. Randomness says that's pretty clever. I think so too. Yeah. Wait, let me get some more water. And I actually got to get to digging, you know? So we'll go do that. We've got about an hour and a half left to stream. We're about halfway through. So, all right, I'm gonna bring my water over there so we don't have to keep coming back here. And I think I've got my binder full of visuals. There it is, already there. Uh-oh, we're getting wind.
Collaboration is golden.
Need to hold anything down?
We are going to scan the tree. My more focus goal.
Oh, great.
Hopefully we're not going to set sail here.
Amazing. Is that this trip?
On the 10th, yeah.
Oh, great.
Mars is going to be up there with them. The one that's doing it works on.
Wind is a blessing and a curse out in the Utah desert when you've got shade tarps. It's nice because it helps cool you down a little bit, but it can tear up those shade tarps. So don't want to get a big gust. Looks like so far so good. Yeah. All right, let's get back into the quarry. Oh, and again, do a quick little station break. If anybody's just joining us, welcome to Paleontologizing. It's good to have you here. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. A paleontologist is a scientist who studies fossils. That can be everything from fossil bats to fossil bacteria, from fossil ferns to fossil frogs, you know, everything in between. If there's a critter that lived on our planet and left a record of its existence in the rock record, in the rocks, that is the purview of the paleontologist, you know? We're here to uncover the mysteries of this grand pageant of life on Earth, the past 3 or 4 billion years of life on our planet. Dinosaurs are part of that, but they're just the tip of the iceberg, you know? But that tip of the iceberg happens to be what I study. I work on dinosaurs, and what we're digging up here. This is a dinosaur quarry. So let's jump in and take a look.
Directly, or how you do this?
Uh-oh. Big wind coming. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. Let me go grab that. Got that, Nick?
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah. Just saw this plume of dust.
The way the pole bent, 90 degrees came down, and the pole just nailed his finger. He was holding the top of the frame. You know, he just target. Throw it dark.
We all good over here. My stuff is blown over. Oh, one of the action packer lids went flying over here. Because our thermometer too. There we go.
I worked in a project where they used to tie the rope back to the rock. And we had something like that hit. And I saw a bolt that was probably 1.5 feet long by 1 foot by less than 1 foot. Big rock. Probably over 100 pounds. It slung on the rope. The length of the quarry went by the back of this woman's head by back of ours. It hit her head, it would have taken her head.
All right. So again, here's our scapula here from our iguanodont. I'm going to continue excavating that. And maybe we can even put a cap on that for the streams over today. And then be able to take it out of the ground tomorrow. That's my hope. As things stand now.
It's possible that one of these things will pull a nail out and poke it right into someone's skull. You ever see an old picture of me? It's pretty rare. You know.
Yeah, I was about to say less surface area, less chance.
Yeah, but
it looks like Greta Thunberg. It looks like Greta Thunberg there.
There we go.
He said, my friend of him and my other friend freshman year, which was this.
Oh, there you go.
And then I said,
here, I'm going to take a look at what that looks like. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's work along here.
And then said, I'm kicking your shit for that.
Yeah, it wasn't just me.
That's very funny.
Get cooked. Like just getting him out of bed. Months was like I would like I had the neck the brace on myself in my bed because I couldn't get in.
Green river.
So I would like kind of stand there, get myself in position, and then jump and turn in the air so I'd land on my back in my bed. And then I'd have to hook up my air breathing stuff. Get over here. I fell twice more after that, just because the injuries were making me a lot more successful.
I snapped my.
There we go.
Two other tendons and had
And
my ankle.
and wombat horses are most of these finds disarticulated. At this site, yes. Most of what we're finding here in this quarry Actually, I think all of it is disarticulated. I don't know if we have any elements that are actually in articulation. So we think that all of this stuff was kind of lying on the surface for a long time before it actually got buried and then later fossilized.
Oh, it's amazing.
So,
yeah, it's amazing, you know.
And Mama Mila Media, thank you for raiding in. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Welcome to a live dinosaur dig. I'm going to be continuing to excavate this bone here in just a moment. But how was your stream? I hope it was real good. Thanks for joining us.
Danny.
Yeah.
You know a very fun fact?
What's a very fun fact, Jameson?
That Tyrannosaurus Rex is more closely related to Archaeornithomimus than Allosaurus.
Yeah, because they're both part of Arctometatarsalia, this clade with ornithomimosaurs and tyrannosaurs.
Exactly.
They've got these pinched metatarsals. But
It's closer to a hummingbird than an Allosaurus.
Whoa.
That's true. Yeah.
Or any bird.
Yep. Yeah. Because they're part of what, Avapoda? Or maybe that's a Greg Paul term. Does anybody else use that?
Marcello knows. Birdfoot.
But yeah.
Marcello
Yeah, so they're both coelurosaurs. Yeah, Allosaurus. Not a coelurosaur.
That's right.
So there you go.
Basal tetanoran?
Yeah. You gotta say it just like that too.
Clearly
You know, when Tom Holtz first proposed the phylogenetic grouping of all the stuff with middle metatarsal,
Yeah.
and then we found later there's convergence. Orthomimids do it, Troodonts do it, Dromaeosaurs don't do it. I mean, it's bouncing around.
Sure.
It's stabilizing the ankle and the foot. But doing it, different ways of doing it.
I think for other reasons though, ornithomimosaurs and tyrannosaurs are still allied though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, ornithomimids and tyrannosaurs were
Yeah.
allied. But I remember Paul Sereno had students that had things at SVP.
Yeah.
When they were referring to Tom Holt, this is a student, not Paul.
Okay.
That guy is such an idiot, he doesn't deserve to have a PhD.
What?
This is like a group
Oh boy.
grad students from Chicago.
Uh-huh.
It's like, well, because he has theories, it didn't compare with. I wouldn't doubt Sereno was about God. It's not like Holt is a smart guy. I mean, it's like, yeah. A number of my own mistakes. I like taking my own first.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then publishing my own rebuttals. Oh, I thought this then. I don't think this now.
That's also a sign of a good scientist.
Both of them work.
Like, I am still working on this. I'm still thinking about this.
And there are a number of scientists that take
Funky Funk says, "What's the most obscure fun fact you know?" It's so obscure I don't even know it. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. The most obscure fun fact you know? I don't know.
That's the kind of question that makes your brain go into overdrive.
Yeah, and it's
your
like
brain overheats because it's like it doesn't like open up like a pathway of connected neurons, and like you don't recall information that way. So you're just like
right.
And
Steam starts coming out of your ears. Smoke, even.
It is a good question, but it's hard.
Why is there smoke coming out of your ovens?
Aurora Borealis?
That's steam.
From the steamed hams. Yeah. Localized in your kitchen this time of year. It's good to have Fisher back, you know? We missed him. Yep. And welcome Surly Dev and North Country Wyman. I thought the joke was, what do you call a blind dinosaur? Not a dinosaur with one eye. But yeah. BDB Dawson says, what's your favorite state or country to uncover fossils at? The United States.
That's right. Amen, brother. United we stand.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Divided we don't. Just like stalagmites. Sorry.
It's Saturday.
I know. We were talking about this earlier, and apparently nobody finds this as amusing as I do.
That's the most
But
random fact.
there you, there's my obscure fact. Yeah. If you're trying to remember stalactites versus stalagmites in a cave, here's the way to remember.
You're not even living there right now?
Stalagmites, you don't. That's the neat part. You don't. No, stalagmites might hang from the cave ceiling,
You're at least doing the right thing.
but they don't. You don't like that?
Horrendous.
Now, how did I say it earlier?
I like the delivery on the first one. I'm not like saying like Bob Boss or something. I'm just saying like.
Yeah, well, no, I said it differently that time. What was it? Stalagmites might hang from the cave ceiling,
As opposed to 8 days.
but they ate now.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember how I said it now. But they don't?
Do a search.
A single parcel.
Can you do a search here?
No, because that's how I normally say it. I said it a different time that way. Different way that time.
Bloomberg News.
Doesn't matter. Ethan's trying to do real work here, and we're just yammering on.
Google that and article.
Fisher's got some TP over there.
About people ripping off
Yeah.
billions.
This guy's
All right. But all these people forging.
So Fisher's closing up the underside of that jacket. Anyway, I gotta actually dig here.
Bloomberg is really well done.
And then,
That's a long article, but it is well worth reading. I can't find it. I told him,
Tegbert says something about having mites in your tights.
And there's no way I can say it.
Yeah.
Imagine, they don't
hi D, what's your job?
Having mites in your tights.
Yeah.
This is the one that roasted.
It's on a finer scale than having ants in your pants. I think on both fronts.
How I make my living. But
Because mites and tights are both smaller than ants and pants.
No, it's you read the article.
see what's up.
One of the players.
I just go there.
Yeah. Special Spezzel edge scapula. Let me reposition this like this. Again, this is tricky. Within line of sight to the router, but we've got this line going down to the camera.
If you're buying a beaver tyrannosaurus,
It's like have a hammer
a fragment of
and a brush.
There we go.
And then when the
Let's keep working here.
It's not a beaver.
puts it there, and then I like run
No,
over.
it's I got into it. I signed the
there's nothing there. And I have to get out of the way.
non-disclosure.
I'm jacking that terrible
Four
layers of
So I'm like, what?
And the money would go to
because we were so roll.
But as I got into it,
You just keep it.
Yeah.
And then
You just have
I get it. You don't
It's like 7 layers of soda.
they call it old
It's ridiculous.
get away from the boss.
absurd.
Yeah, I just don't like
But
this.
I don't know. This guy's a pro.
Danny, you seen that?
See what?
People soak entire gypsona rolls.
Like what they do is they
Yeah.
cut the tanya.
I've seen they just pour water into the bag.
No.
I mean, it's.
I have notes for that too.
I don't know. I think
So you got people like really bad.
that's if you have way too much money. Except, like, we got to do something with all these gypsonas. Like, let's find a way to waste them, you know?
Just use
Sometimes I like want to do this. I'm like,
a whole roll for single use just seems so
Yeah.
so wasteful. It was so confounding seeing someone do that.
Yeah.
but it does make you a lot of money.
You don't have to name names, but which part of the world is this in?
Usually it's
Southern
like,
Hemisphere.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It was like,
I get paid a lot.
dude,
Maybe I've just been yelled at by
I don't want to like step on your toes, but like, what?
Well, I think that's the way that doctors do it. Like a medical, like, since it is supposed to be sterile, like it's in a plastic package, you're not supposed to reuse any part of it. You're not supposed to save any part for later. So, like, you use part of it and you throw the rest away. I think that's how it's designed. But, like, we don't have the budget to do that. So, yeah.
I think
We used to get whole boxes of gypsonas for free because we had a medical doctor who would come out and join us to volunteer, and his hospital would just throw out like whole pallets full of gypsonas because they the date on them had expired. So it's like thousands of dollars worth of these medical bandages that we would get for free. He would just grab them before they went to the dumpster.
Yeah, then you might be interested.
It's a medical supply, and so I think so much of the stuff in the medical industry is they're just looking for ways to just milk more cash out of stuff.
Profoundly wasteful.
Yeah, it is incredibly wasteful. But when you have a for-profit healthcare system, it's just there's inherent waste everywhere.
It's really good. Evolution is awesome. It's probably one of the most exciting topics.
Yeah.
Most exciting.
I guess I'm just
about
and then,
interesting.
I mean, I was just thinking about this yesterday, but if everything goes wrong and I don't get my paleontology,
Right now, it's
legal. I can just be like a biology school teacher.
someone can steal everything.
You know what the truth
Major in
is?
geology.
Years ago,
That is a paleontology job.
these red shirt.
Well, look at that. So, either way.
Yeah, you win.
Major in
That
geology.
marked the
Geology?
base of the Tidwell members. Morrison and Peterson.
It is more money. It's way more money than you'll make in biology.
Okay, well,
The rock concert
telling you.
completely collected
telling
all
you.
Much more money.
Because my cousin was talking about that. He was like, oh, yeah, I want
Company called Exxon.
I can do the exact same thing.
pretty
You don't
accurate.
get some of that?
The world's most beloved company.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Say what you want about them.
Pretty good.
I'm pretty
I
sure
do. Yeah.
Dollar per dollar, they invested more into renewable energy than I think any other company in the past 3
And
years.
that's
Yeah.
sure. Why it's good to know all your other science.
Just saying.
But they
Say what you want
but
about
they reclassified oil as renewable energy.
Say what you want about all the other
How
stuff,
do you know
right?
these things?
Yeah.
Be like,
And it's funny, I hear people say that, and it's
Yeah.
like, that is true, but it's also like, they see where the road is going,
Yeah.
right? And they're
Yeah.
trying to hedge their bets.
Well, they knew about
not
global warming back in the 70s, and there's internal memos that show this.
about being like
It's not. I don't even think it's that. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's all true, but
Yeah.
I also think it's them seeing how
Well, they know that
large government subsidies, by and large, are starting to go
Yeah.
to renewable energy.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, they know that it's a finite resource.
Yeah.
So they're like, it has a clock.
They need to be able to switch at some point if they want to stay alive,
So it's not altruistic, even though it is true. But
Yeah.
it's not done in some we're trying to fix the planet. You're like, no, we need to stay relevant and not lose all of our money.
What they do.
Won't somebody please think of the shareholders?
I know. Think of the
You get paid
shareholders.
pretty good.
Well, BP switched to Beyond Petroleum a while ago, from British Petroleum to Beyond Petroleum, and then I think they went back.
So forward
Like the Beyond Burgers.
Yeah.
You know what that took me?
Most people work in the dinosaurs.
Anyhow, we'll change the subject before we,
Anatomy of medical school.
I don't know, before some guys show up.
That's fine.
You know?
Let them show.
We got Nick with us. We don't have to worry about some guys.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
They're serious.
Gonna wear a suit at me?
What are you gonna drill some holes?
Anatomy, human anatomy, for nurses, or comparative for vets.
Yeah.
They're
Nick,
tough.
how is it that you remembered stalactites? Stalactites would look tight coming up from the floor, but they don't.
T is top. Stalactite. Top.
So the top goes up toward the ceiling from the floor.
It comes and goes.
You're making this
All of a sudden, they
overcomplicated.
gotta be
Danny, you're killing me. You're killing me, dude.
departments will start growing
This
again.
guy's pro.
Flavor of the month. They're right now.
Danny wants to see me pull my hair.
they work. They can work.
That sounds actually getting rid of the geology.
That's what you want in a cave environment, is an agent of chaos, and confusion.
Bags of
That's
Cheetos.
why Bane was born in the darkness.
We had a major
Dying.
Didn't he have asthma?
I mean, the treatise.
That's what the massive.
There we go. Yeah.
Crazy mineral.
They were really
With respiratory issues.
Yeah. I did not choose the mask. My doctor prescribed it.
Big jobs like that. I was
born with a pre-existing
You developed asthma. I was born with it.
Geotechnical, like engineering, stuff like that. Hydrogeology, dam construction, dams, architecture, stuff like that.
I'm thinking.
No Barham says, besides birds, what do humans eat that dinosaurs would eat, like plants or fruits? Man, that's a short list. Cycads? Do you know about those people who eat cycads despite them being toxic? So they have to cut up the caudex of the cycad, the pith inside, There's like a certain way that you leach the poisons out of it. So like you have to compress it for a long time, and then you can oven, you dry it out. And after long enough, it leaches out the toxins and you can eat it.
So they figured it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you eat Greenland shark, can't you?
Yeah. They like bury it in the ice and ferment it.
For like 2 years.
Yeah.
I think it's called like Hackerall.
Yeah. So yeah. But I like
very
the
unsustainable animal to harvest.
Yeah.
It's like something that takes 500 years to reach sexual maturity or whatever.
You can eat acorns, right? Just boil them.
I do. But acorns weren't around during the Mesozoic.
Oh!
Yeah.
I forgot what
No, and I love this. That my chatter, Dirt or Bust there says, oh no, sorry, no Barum. Says, not like, what did dinosaurs used to eat that people eat today? Didn't say that. They said, besides birds, because they know at this point that I'm going to go, well, you know, lots of dinosaurs today eat the same thing that people do. You know, I saw a pigeon eating a hot dog last week. Like, they know that I'm going to say, well, actually, birds are dinosaurs. You know, I've got you well trained. I'm really happy about that. Yeah.
Deep sea drilling.
And avocado. The Donner Party eat acorns?
I hope.
I think I got bad news for you about the Donner Party.
Something much worse at some point. They might have eaten acorns at some point, but eventually you get amino acid hungry.
Maybe I'll just
You should just keep a syringe full of them.
You get meat hungry.
Just in case.
I will from now on.
Yeah.
I never know I'd be subjected to this kind of hell.
These guys can't go like more than one day having a vegetarian dinner. It's like that's their limit, you know?
Day 3 right now.
Oh, that's right, because we had the tofu curry the other night. Oh.
Yeah, at camp, there's a table with like 20 cartons of soy milk. Just staring at us, and we're just looking at it like...
Look at his nose.
Yeah. their bellies are already starting to distend.
Can I have some food?
You know, spare a prayer for the carnivores here in the quarry, you know? They're the real victims.
Thank you.
Should play that Sarah McLachlan song. Like, the arms of the angels.
Dude, that is emotional manipulation. I don't appreciate that. Those commercials are so sad.
Nick is like, all those dogs look so tasty.
After today, if I saw that commercial, like, just let me eat them. Just let me eat them. Everyone.
She's on a mission.
Charlie's Dragon. I'm bringing down the level of the discourse here. It happens sometimes, you know? I promise we're... Ed says, is that possible?
Yes. This is who you're hanging out with, man.
I mean, yeah.
These guys are the best jokesters here.
This is definitely like the class clown part of the quarry. You know?
Influence.
Yeah.
They're messing with bones, and I'm trying to guess it. Oh no, that's 2 bones together. It's like crush the sedimentologist ego. Thought I was learning something in paleo.
Nope.
Turning our egos into nice.
You know, that would link.
Are you getting any like fossilized roots or anything?
Surprisingly few. I got a little. Actually, none. Yeah. Usually,
this is
at
really
Ethan's Wash,
boring.
there were a lot.
Yeah.
Here, I've not seen any.
Man.
We get tons of Temsky at the other site, and like almost nothing here, which is weird. Yeah.
And it's like pulled into
Yeah.
There goes my day.
Yeah. Actually, let's talk about Temsky for a second. Well, we got Ed and Jeff here too. Jeff is a big Temsky fan.
I went.
Yeah.
You know, what would
This guy's a pro.
This guy's a 15-hour drive.
Immediately.
I know, I didn't quite know what it was.
Super sweet herb.
Yeah.
Like it is very beautiful herb.
Start digging around this area.
From the Ruby Ranch. Yeah, I didn't believe there was any interest in that.
You know,
That was centered
6 hours.
There we go. Wow. Okay. Get this properly set up so it doesn't rotate around. There we are. Excellent. Here, we'll go talk to to Jeff about Temskia.
We're not.
Some of you might remember Jeff and his wife Alyssa, who's very entertaining, from last year at Lori's site. Jeff, can I bug you for a second? Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about Temskia for a little bit, which is this really cool, weird plant that we get here in the Cedar Mountain Formation. And I've got this diagram that I printed out. You want to hold that real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's special about this? And tell us that that analogy you told me last night about these guys.
Well, so they're kind of a weird plant.
They're related to ferns.
Yeah. So they're like a tree fern is what they're kind of considered. But the weird thing about them is they're not just one single organism in there.
Yeah.
They're kind of like a group of vines, and like the best way I can describe them is like if you were to boil spaghetti noodles.
Yeah.
And then you take all those soft noodles and then straighten them back out and twist them, and that would kind of resemble what the Temskia would look like. And they're just kind of a big group of vines that grow up, and some of them get pretty tall, like 20, 30 feet.
Right. Yeah.
But they had the base of them was just a big ball, and so they have a big root ball instead of that, and they are filled with advantageous roots.
Gotcha.
So they're a pretty crazy little plant too, because they had little mites. You can find their coprolites inside the fossil of the plant itself throughout the whole stalk.
Really neat.
Which is kind of a cool little little thing.
Way different from a modern tree fern, like something like Dicksonia antarctica or Cyathea cooperi or whatever, like the classic tree ferns that you find in Australia. Those have like a trunk that goes up, and then almost like a palm tree, all the fronds come up from the top. This is different.
So they'll have them like off to the side and stuff. And there's still some modern tree ferns like down in Costa Rica and stuff. There are still some living ones still, and they look similar, but they do kind of like resemble more modern palms, and because they have like the fronds along the top, but they still have little shoots, advantageous roots and stuff that come out the side, and so you'll get these little leaflets coming up and down on the side.
I didn't know that. I haven't seen those modern tree ferns. That's really cool.
They're kind of cool looking, but they're look pretty similar. But they're not the same, but pretty close.
Can you tell us that you found here in the Cedar Mountain?
So I've only found them in 2 spots. I haven't actually found them locally down here. So a little bit further north of here. But there is one spot where I found a couple of them where they're in situ or in place. 3 sections where they collapse because they're like vines. When they fossilize, they tend to collapse on themselves, and so they don't get a round trunk, and so they'll have this weird elongated thing with a point on the end of it, because generally the leaves don't preserve with it. But yeah, they're kind of a neat plant because you don't find them after the Cretaceous. It's kind of their own little niche, and so they're kind of a mark in like what the climate was like at the time, because it's also like climate. You get angiosperms at the same time, so this was angiosperms or flowering trees that started to develop.
Really cool. So. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, neat. Yeah, Temskia. I'm kind of surprised we haven't found more material from this stuff in this quarry, because it was coming out left and right over there at Ethan's Wash. At least stuff that we were calling Temskia, roots and other cool stuff. Yeah. Weird, neat plant.
But they all know I'm a good guy.
Do you have the frass images here? Oh man, this is cool. Ed was showing this to us last night, and found it kind of mind-blowing.
I know the young women.
So going back to the micro world and scanning electron microscopes.
Let's start with it's going to show up.
Nice.
Let's get it this way.
Yeah.
So we got a scale. So the scale's down here is 100. Oh, that's 100 microns. Less than your fingernail, typically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Than the thickness of your fingernail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty small. So when you look at it, this is the root system. Then this
is this something like Temskia or something different?
Well, Jim called it Proto-Temskia.
Proto-Temskia. Okay.
Roots. It could be. Yeah. It's roots. I'm not sure I can distinguish them in the structures we see here.
But this is a fossil of something maybe vaguely like this. It was from the Cedar Mountain Formation.
Yeah, it's from the other quarry.
Okay, yeah.
From and it was a sort of a flat surface with black on it that was real grungy. That looked like roots. You looked at it and said roots. So then we put it under the scanning electron microscope, and you start to see these, I'll show close-ups, these nice small features.
Yeah.
That's essentially insect frass.
Right. Does anybody in the chat know what frass is? If you keep insects, like if we have any isopod devotees in the chat, you already know what frass is. It's bug poop. Yeah. I mean, to put it simply,
it's bug poop.
Yeah.
So this, oops, I get it.
Oh, and hang on just a moment. We're just getting an enormous raid, which is a good thing on Twitch. That means 500 new people just showed up here.
Now I'm nervous.
Sorry, gonna give Dr. Ed stage fright here. But welcome to Paleontologizing, everybody. We're here in a dinosaur quarry, digging up dinosaurs and other critters in the earliest Cretaceous Cedar Mountain Formation here in southeastern Utah. My name's Danny. I'm a paleontologist. I'm joined by a group of other paleontologists, students, volunteers. And we're here excavating fossils on U.S. federal public land. So these fossils don't belong to any one person, as not Pete Seeger, Woody Guthrie sang, this land belongs to you and me. These fossils belong to you and me, which is why we're digging them up under permit here. I'm just talking with Dr. Ed Simpson. Let's introduce you to the new chatters here. Who is Dr. Ed Simpson?
I am a professor emeritus. In other words, retired. Yay!
Yeah.
So I do sedimentology, which is movement of sands, gravels, and dabble in paleo. So some people call me a paleontologist, some people don't.
I mean, you work with fossils. We'll claim you.
I work with a lot of trace fossils.
He's one of us. Yeah.
A lot of trace fossils.
Yeah.
So
we were looking at a scanning electron microscope image of some fossil roots.
Yeah.
And what is all of this?
So
it's
this
like rice.
They look exactly like rice grains, except this is just an incredibly dense concentration of frass. Just pooper everywhere. So that's kind of then I'll blow it up. So here's a real close-up.
So this is tiny little pieces of waste, essentially poop of some kind of tiny critter.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out what it is. So these are like 20 microns across.
So incredibly small.
Really tiny. Here's some of the plant structure coming out.
How many of these do you think you could fit side to side across like the eye of a needle?
Well, quite a few actually.
So this is incredibly small.
Yeah, this is really small. So it's probably 4 times the size, 5 times the size of a bacteria.
Right. Okay.
So we're down in that range substantially. So we don't know what organism made this. When we look at modern organisms, the smallest frass is about 20 microns, and that is orbicular mites.
Shoot.
So this is on that small range of it. So the safe bet is these roots were all being attacked and almost totally consumed by these mites underground. And we all know mites love soils, so they really are good to doing that. Then this is what's called a EDS map, and what it does is it gets the X-rays and converts it into elements. So it's basically an element map.
That's so cool. So color-coded here.
Color-coded for me who can't remember the colors. So blue is silica. That's a lot of what replaces the dinosaur bones here.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Then the frass is orange, which is calcium.
Right.
So that's a calcium carbonate. So the frass is a different composition than the silica. So the frass was probably converted to calcium carbonate.
Okay.
Then the silica comes in later.
Gotcha. So we're talking about the fossilization process here. It's like as something that's organic and sometimes squishy, becomes fossilized, that means that it's being mineralized. So like something is happening chemically to like turn it into a hard mineral, essentially.
So the silica is really, really thin because you can actually look down through it and you can see the orange frass down below. So these maps were very shocking to me.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting all silica. Oh, this is going to be boring. Then I get this beautiful orange color pop out.
Right.
It was quite unexpected.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So what does this tell us about this ancient environment? Why is this exciting?
It's exciting because one of the things with Temskia is you see lots and you see lots of insect damage on them. And the early Cretaceous is really exciting because there's lots of insect evolution going on.
Right. Okay.
So we're seeing things like ants.
Right.
Starting to specialize. We're seeing termites starting to specialize.
Right, and these are critters that are found all over the world today. They're incredibly important in these ecosystems. They're like ecosystem engineers. We're seeing them like get their start at this time.
Yeah. And particularly like the amber deposits are
right.
Just, from the early Cretaceous are spectacular in preserving these kinds of things.
Right.
Before people started finding the insects in these amber deposits, they were skeptical about termites being in the Jurassic and things like that. So
interesting.
There's a lot of controversy about some South African geologists said we have termites in South Africa.
And people are like,
Jurassic, no, there was no termites back there. No. They're in the end of the Cretaceous, but paleontology pushes boundaries.
Right.
We're
always doing that.
Always older and older and older.
Yeah.
So
this is really cool stuff, Ed. That's really exciting. Yeah. And cutting edge, like this has not been published yet, so hopefully none of your hopefully none of your rivals are watching this.
No, I don't care.
I'm about to scoop you by taking screenshots from this.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Jim was giving me enough pressure last night.
What's that, Doug?
He might not get tenure if he doesn't publish some more.
Right. They might rescind my retirement.
Revoke your emeritus status.
Yeah, that's right. Oh no, I'll no longer have an email.
Thank you so much, Ed. This is really cool. Yeah. So, again, cutting edge stuff here. This is, it's kind of what this is all about. We're finding new things all the time. I think Ed just took those samples last summer from right over there. And now we've got good images, like could lead to a new publication. This is how we drive the field forward. So exciting stuff.
I can't say cross like this.
Let me go get some more water and walk around a little bit and introduce the new folks here. You kind of caught us with that raid right in the middle of a little impromptu interview. So let me.
Danny, did you get a look at these rocks? Did stream get?
Oh. What do we got here?
Ironstone.
Oh, nice. Yeah, look at those bands.
Yeah, these are from just.
Thank you, Kimo.
Yeah, these are from just around the Ironstone site. I want to say they're just above the bone layer. So this is check and see the circles.
Yeah. Is this a cross section of a plant?
This is stromatolite.
Stromatolite. So not quite a plant, but a photosynthetic organism.
Yeah.
Stromatolites are so. What a stromatolite is, and why
it's
it's
restricted. Well, it's an ecosystem.
Yeah.
Of which one of the major players, blue-green algae, but there are fungi, bacteria. It's a whole plethora of microbiota interacting with each other. The fungi trying to tear it down, blue-green algae trying to build it up. But it's a little micro ecosystem.
Really cool. So I've heard these described as like living rocks before. You get these mounds of algae and other stuff.
Aren't they in like Australia still?
Yeah, Shark Bay in Australia is famous for that.
Stromatolite reefs around Salt Lake that are being really exposed. I mean, you should come do a stream on the other side of the lake.
That would be really cool.
I can show you modern stromatolite reefs growing on Paleozoic limestone ridges that are now exposed.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I brought the Chinese over there, working on snowball earth stuff, and they're like, and our guys, it's all microbiolite. They're going, you just wrote on magic marker stromatolite. So these are not all microbiolite.
Super cool stuff.
Oh yeah, you can see where the origin is, and then it's gradually
radiates outward as it grows.
Exactly.
Super cool.
So you have that one. You have this, which
Ed found particularly interesting because you can see the laminated sheets and how they're like really like compressed together.
See that deposition there, layer by layer?
Exactly, especially on this side, like you really get that layering.
Nice. And this is from what, just up the road?
Basically, like not.
Well, Iron Springs, just above where we're going to be digging in October.
Nice. Okay.
And then
and it'll come out more of that because it's
nice.
Gonna be cool.
Look at that. That's beautiful. Yeah.
This you can see all the layering, and then the evaporites in the middle. You have the quartz crystals growing into the gaps.
That's so cool.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Tell us what an evaporite is, Kimo.
So basically, when you get like lakes and stuff, and you know, water processes, evaporation happens.
Yeah.
Minerals that are left behind, they all kind of stick around at the bottom here.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a salt crust around the rim of a lake or something. As the water evaporates, it leaves some of that mineral residue there. So that's what we're seeing here. That's so cool.
Absolutely.
Really neat. So what does that tell us about this environment, Kimo?
Definitely, like, it tells about the water chemistry of it.
We're looking at an evaporitic environment.
So this is an area that was like periodically drying out.
Not wet.
You're
not building laterites and bauxite.
Right.
In this environment, this is the exact opposite.
Much drier than that, yeah.
Yeah, this is dry. You know,
super cool. Yeah.
You know, the Lake Matson lake system also has apparently playas, you know, as well as water, you know, with fish. But they also have pliers with salt.
Right, yeah.
You know, we got poison strip, you know, Ed, when I measured that section, it was like, I got 7 levels through this sequence with stromatolites, you know, like beds of stromatolites.
Yeah.
I took Ed out there and it's just, it was this stuff.
It's really neat.
This is as good as a
Look at that, yeah.
Also has that like really good examples of the bedding and all that.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty to look at.
Jim, you mentioned this one was like
ripples. It's basically ripple accumulated sand.
Gotcha.
So we see this stuff makes up the main track bed at St. George.
Right.
You know, it's mostly climbing ripples and then destructive erosion made the mega ripples. They're erosional mega ripples on top. But if you look at that main bed, the way it gets dissected, that main bed is sand accumulating on the lake from probably long shore currents coming along and building this stuff up. But you're building sediment by ripples. So instead of just ripples and moving, the ripples are actually building up sediment in place.
Right.
And this is from certainly the poison strip system, which we got limestone lakes right above camp.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, up there. It's,
cool.
It's a complex flood.
Ancient limestone lakes, I should add. Well, when you hear something, we've got lakes, we've got rivers, we're talking about during the Cretaceous period. We're talking about 130 plus million years ago. 140 plus in the case of this
part. It's a very complex environment, the whole place. We got lakes, we got rivers, we got playas, salt, we got, you know, depending on what layer you're looking at, and depending on where you are. You know, we have a river, the Buckhorn River system is as big as Colorado. You have cobbles as big as footballs. You know, that's the size of the rocks. If you go out here in the Colorado River, that's the rocks you're seeing at the bottom of that river.
So it's a lot
derived from the Rockies. Those rocks are derived from Arizona.
Wow.
You know,
and
that's
brought all the way here.
A big major river system flowing down the line axis where once was the Sundance Sea.
Very cool stuff. Yeah. I recognize that some of you at home might have difficulty following some of the terminology here, but it's like, I hope this gives you a sense for what we're able to figure out by just looking at these rocks. Even if a lot of this is sailing over your head, I hope you're understanding that there's so much to learn here, and there's so much information that we can derive by studying these strata, by looking at these rocks.
If any of you have been on the Colorado Plateau, any of our world-class geologic parks or world-class geologic state parks,
places like
park,
Arches
or the monuments,
and Canyonlands,
I mean, these are world-class. Those layers of rocks, red and grays, and those are also represent, millions of years of history that we can decipher, and we find fossils in, and we find all these features that tell us details of how they were in place. I mean, the plateau is a dissected billion years of Earth history. That's as good as anything on this entire planet. And you visit our national parks, sadly, they don't interpret much of the history stuff.
So not enough signage, not enough. So people are going up there and they're looking at these beautiful arches and hoodoos and rock formations, but there's so much more there, is what you're saying.
Well, what made arches? That folded those rocks, set up the crack system, that eroded out to make the arches. That as that went up, this area went down. And this area going down is why we have these dinosaurs occurring in this area that are unique in all of North America. We have a 20 million year record here that exists nowhere else on this continent, marking the basal Cretaceous faunal recovery from the mass extinction at the end of the Jurassic. You can study it nowhere else on this continent. And it's totally unprotected here.
We got to do an interview at some point about dawn of the Cretaceous national fossil beds. This is a project that Jim is.
And we're
this is
the
his
Park
brainchild.
Service people, none of which are still with the Park Service. I've talked about off and on for years, really.
So essentially, almost like a new national park, but a national fossil beds to help protect these rocks.
John Day in Oregon, the John Day Fossil Beds National Monument.
It's kind of our model for this.
It's like an ideal model for what I'd like to see happen here.
So if you want to look up John Day National Fossil Beds in Oregon, that's the kind of thing we'd love to establish.
We have a record of almost the entire age of mammals in their various units. That is unprecedented and well dated. The first half of the Cretaceous is correlative. As they have same thing. We're trying to take the honey holes, different places, get different. So the holes. A national park.
Something that people will visit from all over the world.
In perpetuity. I can make $10 selling this at the yard sale. It's gone.
You display. People come to visit. They'll stay in hotels. They'll eat at restaurants. They'll rent cars. They'll fly to the airport.
People can visit active dig sites. I mean, what we can do out here is incredible. And it's not that expensive.
No, it's really not.
We're throwing that away pretty much daily. More than daily. We're throwing it every few hours in the Middle East right now. Every few hours is the kind of money
the war in Iran,
preserve in your record.
Jim's spitting facts here.
Those are the numbers.
All right, let me do a little station break and walk around. But first, Chemo, can we do a shout out?
So this is the last full be here. I'm leaving tomorrow at like 9 a.m. My Instagram is Chemo Finds Dinos. All lowercase. On Instagram.
KIMO.
Yes. Go follow that. I'll be probably doing like a little recap for here, like a long recap. Stuff with Danny. Watch out for that. If not, I'll still if I go to SVP, I'll still be checking everything out, showing the fans.
Look, if you go to SVP, we'll get you on camera for the last. Here's somebody it's their first time at SVP. What do you think about it? Why is it important? All that.
All the different levels. I'll be doing that.
Awesome. Thanks, Kima. Cool. Let me put this away and then get some water and walk around a little bit. Because again, we've got an L honeybee. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Danny.
Yeah. What's up, Jim?
I wonder if the stream can help raise. I'll put them up in my hotel room. Can you help get them there?
Maybe.
The registration, it's for student. It's
I think for the plane ticket, I think Kutztown has like a one-time, one per year thing of like $500. That should pretty much cover the plane ticket there and back.
I think you have to present.
We might be able to pull some strings, and we should talk about this, Chemo. Yeah.
I think at least for the admission, that's all right. If y'all cover admission, I will.
Registration fee, which it's lower for students,
it's like
but
$300 for students. It's pretty steep for a student.
It is, I
ain't made one.
let's talk. We'll see if we can make that work. But
I'll put up the hotel room, which is like Oh, that room is like $250 a night.
Yeah, it's not cheap to stay at the
I got a
hotel.
space. I'll stick them in.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah. Let me get some water over here. And put this on. There we go. Again, if you came in with the raid, or if you've waltzed in by other means, welcome to Paleontologizing. Welcome to southeastern Utah. Welcome to a live dinosaur dig in the earliest Cretaceous Cedar Mountain Formation. Working here with the Utah Geological Survey. That's where Jim works. He is Utah's state paleontologist. You know, Utah's got a state flower, it's got a state bird, and it's got a state paleontologist. That's him over there in the orange shirt. The whole point of these streams is to do science outreach, to get people interested in science in general, and maybe in fossil science in particular. That's what we're doing out here. Paleontology is the study of fossils. Oh, we got a lovely little lizard there under my backpack. I've always got to be careful moving around these bins under the shade tarp, because if you scrape them across the bottom, like, there could be a lizard underneath. So pick them up very gently so as not to squish anybody underneath. I'm trying to move this into the shade as the shade moves. There we go. Much better. Let's get some water. But given this is a live broadcast, it is interactive. There's the chat right there. And let's see, audio drops. Wait, what? Oh goodness. Is the audio still on? Yeah. Satellite thing maybe? Yeah. Alright. Maybe to help chemo pay at the Society of Vertebrate Paleontology meeting. There's a few like grants that you can apply to, and I can figure something out. And reception is spotty. It's weird because literally the router is right there. We're just having a satellite issue. You know, the signal's got to go up to space and back. So sometimes we get satellite problems. It happens, you know. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, so take all the connectivity we can get. Nice. And that's exactly right, Charlie's Dragon. Yeah. Anywho, Charlie's Dragon is correct. Jim was saying that we should see if we can find a way to help chemo pay for registration at the Society of Vertebrate Paleontology meeting. That's our big global meeting that we have every year as vertebrate paleontologists. This is where we present research, bounce ideas off one another. It's one of these things that helps drive our science forward, you know? There are new collab and ideas that come out of this. SVP is like the big social event of the year for scientists who study fossil bones, vertebrate paleontologists. And I'm going to be doing something special at SVP. It looks like this here. I won't be presenting research of my own. I'll be helping other folks show off their research to the audience at home through this Twitch channel via the medium of live streaming. So we're going to be doing SVP Live, as I call it. There's still a lot of kinks to work out. There's a lot of infrastructure to figure. There's it's going to be a lot of work. But I've got the green light to pursue this. We're going to be trying to take SVP, including you. So this big global meeting of all the dinosaur scientists, and the people who study fossil mammals, and fossil fishes, fossil amphibians, various fossil reptile groups. All of these people get together and here's what we've been working on for the past year. Here's the new fossils that we've discovered. Here's a new technique for studying this or that. Here's new evolutionary family trees that we've calculated using data that we've found from the fossil record. It's exciting stuff. It is at the cutting edge of fossil science. And I'm going to be having folks sign up to present that to you at home. And we'll also be using this as a fundraising event for SVP. So trying to help this scientific society survive when science funding is on a serious decline in this country and in many other places around the world. So I'm really excited about this. Bringing SVP to the people. It's something we haven't really done before, and I am thrilled to be trying this for the first time. So it's going to be in mid-November this year. I think it's like the November 11th through the 14th, something like that. You can look it up at vertpaleo.org. That's our society website. But yeah, SVP Live. I'm excited. It's going to be good. Yeah. And, did we get another raid? Let's see. A Texas Cryptid. Thank you for the raid. How was your stream? I hope it was really good. Also, who gave us our last huge raid, the 500 plus viewer raid? I want to give an extra special shout out to them, because that was pretty stellar. I'm sorry, it was while I was talking with Ed Simpson. Who was that? Who raided in with 500 plus people? I'm sure we've still got some folks. Sochi Riot, thank you, Mr. Bush. How was that stream? I hope it was awesome. And what did Sochi Riot get up to? Let's get another shout out for Sochi Riot. Thank you, Lenina. Good stuff. Are those Sochi emotes there? Oh man, I love the goose.
Leonardo.
Sochi Disco Duck, rather. That's awesome. DJing! Oh, very cool. If you're interested in music on Twitch, if you're interested in disc jockeying, if you want a good DJ stream, check out Sochi Riot. Thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. And again, welcome to middle of nowhere, Utah desert. I appreciate you bringing everybody over. These buttons always come unbuttoned by themselves on this shirt. It's a little irritating. They're like kind of a weird shape. So if you see me fiddle it, they always do this. I like these shirts apart from the buttons. And does Chemo have a PayPal or Venmo we can get at? I'm not sure, Claire. We'll figure that out later, and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, Chemo and I are going to talk about that, and yeah. And ask him on Insta. Thank you, Claire. That'll work. Yeah. But I want to make sure I clear stuff with him. I don't want to put him on the spot live on stream. So yeah. Running a little low on water, but that ice will melt bit by bit. We've got about half an hour left in the stream, so it's good timing. Yeah. And how much is the ticket? So I think you can. What's the student registration rate for SVP? I want to say it's like $300 American, $300 US. Yeah. Here, let's vertpaleo.org. I don't know if they're going to have the registration cost on there yet. Annual meeting. Here it is, SVP 2026 annual meeting. November 11th to 14th. Got that right. Beautiful. Registration is now open. Superb. Let's see here. Member, non-member, student, early membership 3:30. I'm gonna go ask Chemo about this real quick, off stream. We're gonna switch to the starting soon screen for just a minute here, so I can ask him in private. So hold on, don't go away. I will return presently. People today don't recognize that the word presently doesn't mean immediately in this instant. It means soon. You can look it up. I will return presently, okay? Hang on just a sec.
Your people will share it.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, I think we're back on, chat. Chemo said yeah, he's looking for it. So yeah. But if anybody wants to help contribute to Chemo's SVP, that's your chance. He's looking it up right now. Yeah.
Get the work done.
Don't worry,
pay your dues.
My professors would make absolute certain.
Pay your dues.
Yeah. Jim, can you explain what it is SVP for the folks at home?
Society of Vertebrate Paleontology.
Yeah.
And it's an international organization founded in the United States. You know, and you know, my first mentor in dinosaur paleo was one of the founders.
Yeah.
Of SVP. It had been around. Ned Colbert was one of the society, and his wife was the one that did the logo.
Yeah, really cool logo.
Yeah. And her and my wife became pretty good friends. So they'd sit and paint together when I'd be at the museum with them. The Society of Vertebrate Paleo has grown from a small organization. They have 40, 50 people.
And it started in about 1940 or something like that?
40, yeah, in the early 40s.
Yeah.
It wasn't during the war.
I think they had a hiatus during the war. And
okay, right before, but it would be in the 30s.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should know that date.
I think it's 1940, but I'm not totally sure.
But anyway, it's now grown into a major international organization. And the Society of Vertebrate Paleo meeting now every few years used to only be in the U.S. in the meetings, annual meeting. But now every 4 years it meets in a different place.
Yeah.
You know, last year, let's see, it met in Birmingham, England.
Yep, that was there, yeah.
The international one before was Australia. You know, this year it's Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. We're going to flee to the cleave, as they say.
Yeah. And, you know, but basically it makes it like life. I don't get to go to overseas SVP.
Yeah.
State of Utah. Hey, it's hard to get me to go out of state for anything. You know?
They keep Jim geo-locked here in Utah.
Too.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they realized they're asking for two of us to go.
Yeah.
You know, Don's having a big retirement party there.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course, you know, I'm going to be treated pretty good there too.
Right. Can you talk about that yet, or is it
still
hush
I can't really
hush?
Say it. Yeah. Getting the honorary membership.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's like a lifetime achievement award that they give to folks who have made massive contributions to vertebrate paleontology, and Jim's getting that this year, so that's pretty exciting.
I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my pedigree coming in from the outside of the Hayes team, not being Ivy League, you know. But, you know, it's an incredible organization. For me, SVP meetings are better than Christmas.
Yeah, it's something I look forward to all year round. You're going to love it, Chemo.
I'm sure.
Have you got that ready?
I do.
Oh, all right.
I have the
QR code?
Yeah, the QR code.
And it's also got the username, right?
It should, yeah.
Nice. Washington 88.
Yeah, that was my number back in high school.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, what sport?
Football.
Nice. So, did you catch that at Chemo Washington 88?
Yes.
Superb. If you're feeling generous, help get Chemo to SVP. If you want to see him on stream with me from Cleveland in November, then throw him a few bucks and we'll see where we can get with that.
Hey, please. I will also say, do not if you don't have to donate.
No, absolutely not. But if you've got some money burning a hole in your pocket, then
no, we want to get them there. We want to set them off. You know, this is a good way to get set off. It's near. It's not that far.
Yeah.
You know,
Pennsylvania to. That's what, like a 20-minute drive?
I wish.
Yeah. Pennsylvania's big.
I'm from the West Coast, you know?
Yeah. I'm on the other side. It's like 6 or 7 hours.
Exactly, yeah. But, yeah, that'll be cool.
I wasn't there for very long.
Anyway, for international folks to donate, I'm not sure if we got that, Vexy. That would require, like, Cash App or PayPal or something.
No clue.
Yeah, so.
I don't have those apps, unfortunately.
But consider donating to SVP. There's a donate button on their website, and you can help other folks be able to attend the meetings and stuff like that.
Because students apply for grants to go to the meetings.
Right.
They have a number of student grants and things if you're presenting a paper and whatnot. You know, so like the next time, I don't even know where it is next time. Do you?
It's not been announced yet. I
don't think they announced it until the actual day.
You know, they used to announce them a couple years ahead.
But it's so tough to. Jim, that's the tough thing about SVP nowadays is that we're big enough that we need a big venue, but we're small enough that there's not a lot of money. Like, you know, it's a really uncomfortable spot to be at this size for a scientific society. I was talking to Stuart about this, and he's like, it's real tricky, and they only had one offer last year for a venue, so that's why it had to be Birmingham. They couldn't get any other like program committees to develop. That was our only option.
And I'm not going to say why, but you know, we could do another one in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Or Denver. Vegas is just pretty.
Vegas has gotten really expensive.
Yeah, it's not that expensive for a conference.
Yeah.
But it's it's not a fun SVP conference spot.
I heard it was not one of the best ones. Yeah.
And there are people talking about, is there any way we could pull off St. George?
Oh. Do they have a convention center?
Oh yeah, they got a new one. I'm not sure if it's big enough, and they have hotels in the area. SVP is a big meeting.
Yeah. They've got an airport in St. George.
Oh yeah.
Airstrip long enough to land a 747 on. So.
Oh yeah, and of course Vegas is nearby. A lot of people
fly into
Vegas, and then you know take the shuttle. There's shuttles to hotels in Vegas.
Right. Yeah.
It's like an hour and a half to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, SVP this year, I'm excited, and I hope you are too, Chat. I know. Jimmy is.
Salt Lake, Denver, because we can do a lot of field trips out here.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a Tinderlist.
But yeah.
I mean, I think they should come out here more often. These venues.
Was second to last.
Lunapath asks, "Are paleontology conferences wild and crazy?"
We're going tomorrow.
Yeah.
Paleontologists too like to have their beers and whatnot.
There's some inebriation going on to a reasonable extent, I suppose. Sometimes.
After sessions and whatnot, it's just you learn so much. You know, the things you learn. I mean, I learned so much. You know, there'll be so many new dinosaurs that you'll know 1 or 2 years or more before they're ever told to the public. You know, I mean, it's like, wow, look at that.
There's so many things I've had to keep under my hat that I learned at SVP, like this dinosaur's going to come out, this one's new, this one will blow your mind, and I've had to keep my lips zipped about it because it's
Yeah, no, he knew about the new Spinosaurus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, he's been on about a couple of things where he's like sitting next to the people that are more interested.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's SVP is really cool.
Ceratopsians in Europe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, we were sitting with Karen.
Karen was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, that was. It's pretty special.
It's a historic thing. I was at New York, American Museum of Natural History.
Yeah.
Phil Curry came over to John Ostrom, who I was chatting with.
Yeah, this is in '96. I heard the story. Yeah.
SVP. You know, in the hall talking to John Ostrom. He'd been big support from Yale. The guy named Deinonychus. Terrible claw. Figured out birds of dinosaur linkage. At the modern level. Warm-blooded dinosaurs. Maybe they're feathered. John Ostrom. Very nice to me. Good guy. I was chatting with him in the hall. I was moderating the dinosaur session. So it was a very good meeting for me. In general.
Well, and I thought you were going to mention the photo that was passed around.
No, I was standing in the hall just talking to John. Phil Curry comes up with Dr. Yen, who I'd met before. Because he was a friend of my Buzz Earl Kaufman.
From China, Dr. Yen.
And he comes and Phil's talking to John, you've got to see this. And he opens his portfolio. these big, beautiful images, of which one I own now. It's in my office.
Yeah.
You know, one of these images. You know,
that copy
that I got at SVP from Mark Norell.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they were divvied up. Mark was one that got one, and then I got it from Mark.
Yep.
You know.
What was the image?
Of Sinosauropteryx, full color. Yeah, it was the first set that went to SVP.
Yeah. So this, that like the guy who sort of discovered that birds are probably dinosaurs, John Ostrom, he'd been advocating for feathered dinosaurs for a long time. Like, yeah, these critters probably had feathers. And there he's presented with this photo at the
right
meeting.
there talking with him, and I saw the tears in his eyes, seeing his life's work validated in front of him.
Yep.
And seeing the tears in John's eyes, it's probably the total high point of my entire career.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, it's, oh, you discovered. It's like seeing this moment in history.
Yeah.
Being right there, part of it in this little group.
Pretty
special. Never be reconstructed. You know,
That's SVP. That's SVP. So we're. Yeah. Oh man, you got me emotional, Jim.
Yeah, it was. It's just.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, you know. I was there when that happened. You know, and Phil knew about it already because Phil was one of you guys saw this Scott Ostrom. You know, but dang, I was right there when John first saw this. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim. Yeah. Cool stuff. Man, I'm not getting much digging done today, but that's okay. I'm so excited about SVP this year. I know it's months and months away, but that's going to be pretty special. And I can't wait to, I don't know, to be part of this meeting and like give the SVP is normally a thing where there's, you know, a few hundred vertebrate paleontologists and students and maybe a small handful of interested members of the public. They all gather for this event. It's pretty cloistered, you know? Like, it's not something that the general public really knows about. And now I have an opportunity to help share that with the world, promote SVP, give them a more kind of public profile via live streaming. In a small way. We're starting off small with it, but man, I'm excited. Think of the potential for future years. If this goes really well this year, it could be a big deal for our society. We could raise a lot of money for vertebrate paleontology to help advance our science, you know? It's not just like a social event. It's not just a party. It's not just a way to present research. This is a place where the future of fossil science is determined, in a way. People meet new colleagues for the first time. They form collaborations. They make plans to go do field work. People get ideas right there in the hallways or, you know, during the presentation. You put a bunch of people together who are all part of the same field and really cool things happen. We get a little bit of that here in the quarry. You know, when we're out doing field work, new people come in, these friendships, co-authorships, collaborations on research. SVP is that on a global scale, you know? And I'm so excited to share that with you at home. It's going to be pretty neat. Yeah. And Emily says, SVP sounds like a bit much for young paleontologists, maybe. I mean, my first SVP was 2013, and I won't say how old I was, because that'll... Oh, I guess I was like 21, 22? Who cares? I'll tell you. Usually the youngest people there are undergraduates, but like if you're gonna have a career in paleontology, vertebrate paleontology, I hasten to add. If you study invertebrates, fossil trilobites, ammonites, bivalves, clams, critters without bones. SVP is not the place to. It's vertebrate paleontology. But if you study critters with bones, like dinosaurs or birds, amphibians, mammals, reptiles, bony fishes, chondrichthyan fishes, kind of the earlier you can get to SVP, the better, You will meet people there that you'll be working with for the rest of your career. I remember my first SVP was really special. It's a really cool thing. I know some people who never go to SVP because, it's too expensive. And yeah, it is unfortunately really expensive for people who don't get paid a lot. There's not a lot of money in paleontology at all. But if you can get there, just to hang out, you don't have to present research. Just to be there among a bunch of paleontologists can be really special, especially for a younger person. So, I know we're talking about Jameson here. Maybe if he wants to go, I don't think it'd be a bad idea. But there will be future SVPs. It happens every year, Part of what I'm trying to do is to ensure that we do have SVPs into the future, because they've had a bit of a budget shortfall lately. We got to make sure we close that. We make some money for the society to make sure that we can continue to have these meetings for the next, 80 years and beyond. Anyway, I'm very excited about it. It's going to be great. Yeah. And that's cool, Drinsterbush, yeah. And Deathsaurus says Darenatia's DinoCon is happening in Europe now, too. So that is, yeah, DinoCon, I think there's some paleontologists there, but it's also like a celebration of dinosaurs in popular culture, and, it's more of it's more open to, fans and stuff. I think SVP, in a way, kind of needs to move in that direction a little bit. Be more open to the public, more accessible to folks who are not necessarily professionals. We need to broaden our scope a little bit, at least. And I'm eager to help out with that, if that's the direction they want to move in. But yeah, DinoCon is for dino fans. Exactly, Petrodactylus, yeah. SVP should be for dino fans who are also really serious about the research and really interested in that, and they want to know about stuff before it's announced to the general public. So yeah. Anyhow, let's get some more water. That's the end of that. I'll put this in the sun so it melts a little faster. But yeah, actually, you know what? No, I want to take that back to. No, let's back on, or do I need to reset the RTMP server? No, I think we're on. Are we back? Great. Thank you. What point was I about to make? Oh yeah, nothing against science geeks, but not everybody identifies as a geek. Paleontology takes all different kinds of people, people of different backgrounds, different proclivities, different personalities and interests. Yeah. Science is for everybody, or at least it should be, fossil science included. You might be a science jock or a sports geek or a history prep or a theater goth or whoever, whatever kind of particular subculture or group that you consider yourself a part of or you find kinship with. Science should be for everybody. Science is a universal thing, you know? Because what is science? We're trying to learn about the world around us in an organized way where we test things to make sure that we know what we're talking about. What's true in a systematic way. Not to be the particular domain of any one kind of cultural subgroup or anything. Like, science is for everyone. At the point when we were in Wyoming, talking with my crewmates, people like presents very much as like, you know, as like a jock. But he's out there in the field, sometimes for like months out of the year, excavating fossils. Out in the field or prepping fossils in the lab. He is just as much of a paleontologist as I am, you know? Like, you don't have to identify as a nerd or whatever in order to in science. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Science is for everybody. And I know folks don't like to hear this, but in so many ways nowadays, the geeks and the nerds are the biggest villains and bullies in the world. It's weird how things have shifted like this as the tech industry has become such a big money thing. And I make the point that science is for everyone, not just for people who self-identify as the nerds and the geeks. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, Linus is a biology weirdo. Me, yeah. The weirdos and the preps and the goths and the teachers' pets and the class clowns, everybody's got a home in science if they want one. So yeah. Yeah. Anywho. NPC Upvote's got a question. Since most of what we can see is the structure of dinosaurs' bones, have bone structures evolved all this time, or is it very similar? Oh no. I mean, it's changed a whole lot. Holy cow. Means of discovering what dinosaurs were like are their body fossils, the morphology of their bones. They're, to use the technical term for the study of bones. There's lots of other different ways to study dinosaurs, but if it weren't for dinosaur bones, we'd have a lot less information than we do. We'll put it that way. So the skeletal structure of dinosaurs changes a tremendous amount. I'll give you an example. Let's, dinosaurs were around for a long time. We're talking like close to 180 million years. And that's just until the asteroid hit. We still have dinosaurs today. We've had them for the past 66 million years after the asteroid. We just call them birds. I'll carry this over here and I'll make this point with some visuals. When dinosaurs first evolved, they were small, they walked on two legs, they had sharp teeth, and there was only one ancestral dinosaur species. There we go. Here's a diagram that I often show off here. You can get a poster of this at 252mya.com. It's really cool. But lovely art style. Simplistic but vivid. I love it. As far as dinosaurs all evolved from a single species. Why all dinosaurs are dinosaurs is we trace their ancestry back to one ancestral species. We haven't figured, the closest thing we have might be something like the Triassic of Argentina. Anywho, dinosaurs started off bipedal, with short arms, longer hind legs, longish neck, sharp teeth in their jaws. They look like this. And from that, they branch out into all of these different groups. Many groups independently become quadrupedal. And the critter that we're digging up here, an iguanodontian dinosaur, we think these guys are like quadrupedal. But maybe they could get up and run on their hind legs if they wanted to. Kind of tuck their arms up against their body. But this is very different from that ancestral dinosaur. They've got much smaller teeth that are, well, the name iguanodon means iguana tooth. They have kind of vaguely iguana-like teeth for eating plants. So, anyway, point is, many aspects of the where's our Utah raptor? Here's the skeleton of Velociraptor. So very different from their bones. They're hollow for them. The vertebrae have pneumaticity in them, so do many of the limb bones. Here's the skeleton of a turkey, which is also a dinosaur. Osteology is changing all the time. The bones of these animals, they change over the course of millions of years of evolution. That's how we discover that different dinosaurs were different species. Almost all of that information is there in the bones and in the teeth. So these hard parts of their skeletons. That's what we do as vertebrate paleontologists, is we study bones. There's also paleontologists who study things like fossil footprints and other traces that animals are leaving during their lifetimes. So there are dinosaur paleontologists who specialize in studying their footprints and trackways. There are paleontologists who specialize in studying fossil poops, coprolites, as we call them. The name means poop stone. By studying fossil poops, you can tell what these animals were eating, and it gives you a sense for like who's doing what in which environment, which ones are predatory and which ones are prey, and you know, what does the food web look like? You could start to piece these things together by studying things like fossil dung. So yeah, these are different ways of studying these fossil critters, but for the most part, you know, bones are our bread and butter. That's what we look at as vertebrate paleontologists. And it shouldn't be surprising, I guess, that the bones change a tremendous amount as these animals evolve over time. That's how we can track their evolution. Like, we're looking at how different the bones are at different stages, at different times. Yeah. But yeah. Claire Burr, ichnologist is the term for somebody who studies fossil traces, and coprolithologist is the term for someone who studies coprolites. There's a lot more ichnologists than coprolithologists. It's a much broader kind of discipline, because there's lots of different kinds of traces. It's not just footprints, it's burrows, it's nests, it's anything that an animal is doing to alter its environment, any trace that it leaves on a substrate. That can be the purview of the paleoichnologist. Yeah. At SVP, we'll, I'm sure, be talking with some paleoichnologists. If Tony Martin is going, I'm going to see if I can wrangle him into giving a little presentation to us, because that's always a ton of fun. But yeah. But yeah. And Charlie's Dragon makes a really good point. Yeah, this is not just about finding new species, it's about finding out how they lived, what their surroundings looked like. Yeah, how do they interact? What are they related to? You know, how did they live? What are they eating? All kinds of stuff like that. Paleontology has, I think, changed and become much more complex over the past century. It used to be mostly like cataloging things, you know? It's like, well, how many different groups of dinosaurs are they, and how are they different from each other? And let's name some species. But as we've progressed, as we've uncovered more and more information, as we've published more and more dinosaurs and other fossil critters, it becomes much more holistic, you know? Paleobiology has become so much more of a thing, you know? How did these animals really live? What were their behaviors? How do we figure that out from the fossil record? How are they related to one another? How do they interact with their environment? How were they members of an ecosystem? All this stuff is really important, and the work that we're doing here is like kind of foundational to that. We're trying to figure out, like, okay, what kind of dinosaur do we have here? How is it similar or different to other dinosaurs that we found in this area and around this time? Once you start to figure that out, once you have names on things, once you name different dinosaurs, it becomes easier to study them as once living organisms. But you kind of got to do that alpha taxonomy first. I wonder if Wikipedia has an article for alpha taxonomy. But that's just like the basic work of like, okay, are these different species or are they the same? What do we call them? That's kind of your basic level stuff. And after you start to get that sorted out, then you can ask those more complex questions. Yeah. And Sniplet says, who is the mad lad who brought a bike? That's Uncle Don's bike. So Don, rather than walking to and from the quarry, he likes to ride his bike. Don is an avid bicyclist and swimmer and rock climber and just general athlete. And so that's Don's bike. It's funny that people see that out of the corner of their screen and they go, oh, who brought the bike? It's Don. Assistant State Paleontologist Don DeBlue. But yeah, let me get some more water and we'll jump in there. Ugh. Yeah. Let's see. Emily says, what was the very best dinosaur in the whole history of dinosaurs? Dryosaurus. Everyone's true king of the dinosaurs, Dryosaurus. Why is it so great? Had a little beak. Had 2 legs. 2 of them. That went all the way to the ground. It's pretty awesome. Dryosaurus. We'll go with that. Yeah. And we had a question from NPC Upvote. What is the weirdest thing found among a dinosaur's fossils? Define weird. I don't know. We've got dinosaur fossils from... Well, there's a cool one in San Diego at the museum there called Aletopelta. This was an armored dinosaur. And it died and then got washed out to sea somehow. Maybe it fell into a river or fell off a cliff or something and got like washed out to sea and then deposited at the bottom of the ocean. And it's got fossil oysters all over it. That's pretty interesting. This is not a dinosaur that lived in the ocean. Almost no dinosaurs lived in the ocean. There's lots of other critters, other kinds of reptiles that lived in the ocean during the Mesozoic, but they're not dinosaurs. Aletopelta was found at the bottom of the ocean with oysters stuck to it. If I were in an even goofier mood, I would make some sort of a joke about, you know, this was an ankylosaur mafia hit, and you know, he's sleeping with the fishes, with the, you know, with the sandstone boots. But I'm not feeling that goofy. So yeah. And then other part of that question. What's the most surprising discovery that changed the way people think about dinosaurs from the past recent years? That one might be... Oh, goodness. at this point, it's well established that birds are dinosaurs. That used to be like kind of a mind-blowing thing for a lot of people, but that's 90s, early 2000s at this point. That's more than, it's like 20, 30 years old at this point. We know that birds are dinosaurs, so dinosaurs never went extinct. Not completely. We have over 10,000 living species of dinosaur today. We just call them birds. But that's old news now. One of the most surprising things, I'm not totally sold on yet, but I don't know. Does it have to be Nanotyrannus? It might be. There's a big debate right now about certain dinosaurs and whether they're actually different from other ones or whether they're just juveniles. So like, the example I'm giving is Tyrannosaurus, T-Rex, and Nanotyrannus, N. lancensis. Nanotyrannus lancensis. Nanotyrannus, whether or not it's valid, that's being argued currently. It looks a lot like what you would expect a small T-Rex to look like a juvenile, an immature individual, a teenage T-Rex. And there's been a big debate over the years whether or not this critter is a different species or whether it's just a young T-Rex. And for a long time, the consensus has shifted toward it just being a young T-Rex. The idea that these animals changed a tremendous amount as they're growing, which is why Nanotyrannus looks so different from Tyrannosaurus. But then there was a paper that came out last October that said, oh no, they're actually really different. They are different species. And if that's the case, this could kind of turn over some of our more recent ideas about dinosaurs. Like maybe they didn't change that much as they grew, but this is something that's still being debated, and there's people working on rebuttal papers to that paper that came out in October right now. So like this is a current controversy. So we won't be hearing the end of this for a good while, it seems. Yeah. Oh, and did we just get a raid? Well. Super Allah, how are you doing? Thank you for the raid. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Welcome back to the deserts of southeast Utah. Welcome back to a live dinosaur dig here in the earliest Cretaceous Cedar Mountain Formation. So we're here with a group of paleontologists and students and volunteers digging up dinosaurs. I've not been able to make as much progress on this over here as I was hoping today. Anyhow. What I'm going to do is... Well, maybe I'll wait till we wrap up before I get more water. Nah, let me do it now. I'm going to pour myself some more water because I'm out. I've got ice at the bottom of my water bottle. I'm going to melt that with some hot water and hopefully make some lukewarm, if not cool, water. Still a good amount of ice in there. But if you got any questions, Raiders, don't be hesitant. Don't be shy. I'll do my best to answer those for you.
Whatever making it scratch, algal. No question. Algal surface over it. Whatever it was, I think it was floating. It makes this scratching, like that long scratches, about this far apart in an arm.
All that ice in there. Nice.
And they're all over the place. And you can see how, if you look at the surface overall,
this stuff's been sitting in the sun.
Undulatory.
It's gonna vaporize that ice.
And it's like, this is feed brains. They're scratching up algae or microbiota living in the algae. And I'm thinking like Pteranodon. I think it's these pterosaur birds. Like
that's good enough.
They're filter feeders. They're scratching the stuff and they're filtering it through their jaws. And we don't have the animals.
Just like that, it's melted.
Shoot. Vertebrate feeding places.
Stuff is hot.
Was supposedly a 2 mile.
Martin wouldn't touch it.
But it's a 2 mile.
Anywho, yeah. And that's not a gas can. There's no petrol in there. Ended on quinine. Those are our water jugs. I know, I helped fill them. goodness. Okay, that made tepid water. We might call that room temperature if we were inside in an air-conditioned room, but it is certainly a heck of a lot cooler than the ambient air. 107.2 in the shade right now. 107.4. Yeah. It's hot out here, as you can imagine. Yeah. And thank you, Don Vito, 75, for the 3 months of support. I really appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Good stuff. Excuse me. We've got 539 people watching right now. I'm sure somebody else has got some questions, right? Don't be shy. And Mayor Space says, since the Raiders aren't asking questions, who is the strongest paleontologist? Oh, you know, we haven't really had a feats of strength competition, but my money would probably be on Nick.
How about when you go out next? Also.
Yeah. Okay. Got a question from the chat. I think we might be able to answer it just by looking around. Who's the strongest paleontologist? Here?
Yeah, it might be Fisher.
I don't know. You guys going to do an arm wrestling match real quick?
I don't know if I...
Okay. We don't have to.
I don't want to damage my joints. Yeah, so every time I do it, I get like semi-permanent soft tissue damage.
Fair. Yeah. Ethan's also really strong, so you can tell just by looking at him. Yeah. Marcello also quite strong.
Thank you.
Yeah. Laura also quite strong. Yeah. So we've got a number of very strong paleontologists here. Yeah. No, I was trying to make the point too that, like, I don't know, especially on Twitch, a lot of folks are like, oh, you know, it's so cool to have all this like geeky science content, and I'm like, not everybody who goes into paleontology would self-identify as a nerd or a geek. Like, what would you say you were in high school, Nick?
Dumb.
I like to push back against the universal nerd idea.
Yeah, I was a jock.
Yeah.
Sure. I was a wrestling team.
Wrestling team?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not. Did bad in school, bad in high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we are.
Takes all types, you know?
That's right.
Yeah. Marcello, what? You. I'm trying to push back against this idea that, like, that all paleos are
so we can see the
self-identified as nerds.
Okay.
We were just talking
like, it takes all different types of people.
So, you know, if someone can buzz up to Barley's,
I didn't dress like a punk, but I think I acted like a punk.
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
punk, and I say punk because
after work or something.
I was always a dark horse.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I played football and I was a wrestling captain,
what's the schedule?
that doesn't mean I was relegated just to jocks. Like, I would still take my AP classes, still hang out with like mostly like immigrant friends who weren't in football. You know, I hung out with the soccer team or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say punk just because I would always just do my own thing.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I still did some jock things, some nerdy things.
Yeah.
A combination.
Yeah.
Kelly, you're on the
Yes.
team, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a
There you go.
Wrestlers.
And Jameson here is currently in high school.
Yes.
I have no concept of time.
Would you identify, like,
Tomorrow is Sunday, right?
I don't want to pigeonhole anybody or be like, what's that?
So we're gonna
Wrestling team too?
Yeah.
My sophomore year, so
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna do it again this year. But I mean,
Cool. Yeah. And then, I mean, but in order to do this line of work, like, you have to be interested in ideas, and whether or not you attach like the nerd or geek label to that is your own choice, but
We won't be.
you kind of have to
I don't know
be
when we're getting back on Monday.
interested in stuff. in ideas, like I just said, I guess.
11:30 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got the whole day Monday.
So it's an interesting synthesis, you know? Especially people.
Monday. Oh.
We like to be outside. You know, many of us did sports and stuff. This is such a silly conversation, you know? But I'm just trying to make the point that, like, lots of different kinds of people, people of different, like, and, you know? I want to make that very clear. But yeah. And yeah. Ginster Bush says, as an autistic person, I fail to see what's a bad thing about owning an originally nasty word. No, there's nothing bad about that. I just want to make the point that I'm trying to consider the medium here, you know? I'm broadcasting on Twitch. Twitch is a platform that primarily caters toward people who are interested in video games and stuff like that. And so there might be like a tendency toward people who gravitate toward traditionally nerdy or geeky pursuits, video games, board games, role play, stuff like that, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm trying to make the point that even though that might be overrepresented on Twitch and maybe among people in the audience, anybody can be interested in science. It's not just for as nerds or geeks or whatever. Anybody can be interested in science. Something that I'm really enthusiastic about professing here on this channel. Because sometimes I think that science is seen as something that's inherently nerdy or geeky or whatever, and it definitely doesn't have to be, you know? So if there's other people who are watching, and they go, oh, science is just like a thing for people who self-identify as nerds. Well, that's not me. It doesn't resonate with me. I can't be interested in this kind of thing. I want you to go, no, cast those ideas aside. Try to think about this from a new perspective. Science can be for anybody. And by showcasing people from different subcultural backgrounds, people with different proclivities, people with different attitudes, people with different ways of seeing the world and different values. I want to demonstrate, I want to show you that science can be, doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Not that there's anything wrong with being a geek or a nerd or anything. Absolutely not. If that's who you are, awesome. You be you. Don't let anybody change you. But science isn't just... You picking up what I'm putting down? Is this making sense? I hope so. Yeah. And Rushwing says, no gatekeeping. You don't need to be a nerd to like science. Exactly. Rushwing, beautiful, concise, well said. Yeah. And, and we're wrapping up. Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up the stream, too. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I really appreciate it. I hope you had fun today. I know I did. This was an unexpected, a stream full of unexpected things, I suppose. Talking to people whom I just met, who were visiting camp, seeing cool, cutting-edge scientific results, like the stuff that Ed was showing us, stuff that is not published yet. You're getting to see this stuff before other people in paleontology even get to see it. And then, of course, the excavation that we're doing, too. Uncovering these dinosaur bones, the stuff happening live on stream, that's always fun. We'll be doing more of that tomorrow. The quarry will be much less crowded tomorrow And so there'll be more space for me to actually sit down and dig. So we'll get that scapula capped tomorrow. And let's see if we can find somebody to raid. Oh, hang on. We got a raid from Cal from Dynamite Twins. Holy moly. Well, shoot. Let's keep going for a few minutes. Dynamite. I was just gonna wrap things up here. Let me go grab my tools at least, so they don't get mixed in with everybody else's. I brought mine from home, because I do this for a living, and they don't need to provide tools for me, but I do need to make sure that they don't get scooped up and put into a box and then lost. So let me grab those, and then we'll walk around for a little bit.
I can barely walk on this surface anymore.
It's pretty nice small iguanodon.
Let's see. There we go. But just joining us, welcome to they're leaving, they're packing up, so I'm getting my gear and putting this away real quick. I'll be walking around for a few minutes just to welcome everybody over and answer any questions. Everybody else goes back to camp. Because I want to thank you. I hope you had an excellent stream. What did you get up to?
Yeah, they showed me a good tour of the after-hour party for FIFA.
Oh yeah, you got to see.
I followed them for 2 hours that night.
That's awesome, Jim. Yeah. Shoot, yeah. Allie and Lexi.
Good tour, thanks.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So cool. Yeah, that's Utah State paleontologist Jim Kirkland right there. Jim discovered Utah raptor and gas. Jim has named more new genera and species of dinosaurs than almost anybody else alive right now. He is a force here in paleontologizing and paleontology. So yeah, that's so cool that when I raided in the other night, Jim was watching you. Awesome. Yeah. I'll just set this aside over here. But how was your stream, Allie and Lexi? I hope it was phenomenal. Welcome back to Paleontologizing. Yeah. Dynamite Mom too says, wow, that's cool. I know, right? Yeah. If anyone's here for the very first time, and I know some of you are, welcome to Paleontologizing. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. So I want to make it clear from the start that not all paleontologists study dinosaurs. Paleontology is an extraordinarily broad field. You know, it's biology and geology. It's the study of the history of life on Earth, going back over 3 billion years into Earth's past. But that being said, I do work on dinosaurs. Most paleontologists don't. Paleontology is any kind of fossil critter, everything from fossil redwood trees to fossil snails. But I work on dinosaurs, and that's what we've been excavating here today, and will continue to do for the next 2 weeks out here in eastern Utah. I'm working on Bureau of Land Management land, BLM federal public land. And everything that we're doing here is under permit from the Bureau of Land Management. All of the fossils that we excavate here belong to we, the people of the United States. No single person can own these fossils or buy or sell them. They belong to the public domain of science. They belong to the world at large, really. If you're somebody who loves dinosaurs, then in some small way, these fossils belong to you too. We're excavating them so that they will go to the Natural History Museum of Utah in Salt Lake City. That will be their forever home. So decades after I am dead, other paleontologists and members of the public will be able to go to that museum, study these fossils, enjoy them. Hopefully we'll have some of these fossils on display before too long in the next few years there in that museum. I find that really exciting, you know? Part of what makes fieldwork like this so cool is that we're part of some just ourselves, you know? We come together as a team. Most of us here are volunteering. Only Jim and Don and Ethan are getting paid because they work for the Utah Geological Survey. Else here is volunteering their time. Yeah. Let me scroll through. Jim beats true, Ozzy Ute. It is true. Mayor Spaces, one thing paleontologists don't do is human. You know, the preserved remains of ancient, mostly non-human living things. If you're talking arrowheads and ancient tombs, that's archaeology. It's a very different thing. Just dig in soil. Hear me? Let me know. We should be good. Oh, goodness, let's go close.
See you, Don. Have a good ride. Good day today?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
See you, gang.
Yeah. Drive safe, Jim.
You know, well, there's a roadblock.
Yeah.
I don't know, they're checking IDs or something.
Yeah. Well, you call us when you get there, okay?
Okay. Yeah. I've got my cell phone.
Let us know you got there safe.
Again.
I've got air conditioning. Cold air.
I'm making it like a commuting joke.
Yeah.
You know.
Like back home would be like, oh yeah, you know, if you go across the Bay Bridge, hopefully you don't hit any traffic. You know, you give us a call when you get there. You know, this is about a, what, 2-minute drive to get back to camp?
100 meters, carrying gear, it's definitely worth doing it, but otherwise.
Yeah.
But, man, I can barely walk around in that quarry the way my knees are right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like very flat. We'll see.
Yeah. Where's the fieldwork in October? Where's that?
Stone site that Ed went out to yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When in October?
Probably be like the 3rd week, 2 weeks, the 3rd and the 4th week. Or,
Yeah.
You know.
Could you use some?
Oh yeah,
some live stream publicity.
Yeah, you could play out there.
We'll see about that.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
You could go out and do it at the Utah Raptor Ridge. We're on the.
Yeah.
Yep, that's where the Utah Raptor block was found, right there.
Yeah.
You've never been out there, have you?
I feel like we went there on a field trip once, or Ridge.
Utah Raptor Ridge, yeah.
Because it's near Utah Raptor State Park, right?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
You went up Dalton Wells, maybe.
Oh, okay,
Utah
okay.
Raptor Ridge, I don't think I've been up there, and I'm not going up there on this thing either.
Yeah.
For like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's a pretty treacherous climb.
Okay, gotcha.
But you'll see, it's a big hill.
Yeah. Well, sounds like a challenge. I like that idea.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the place.
Yeah.
That's why I named it Utah Raptor Ridge.
Right, yeah. It's on the maps and everything,
Yeah,
Utah
it's a
Raptor
US
Ridge?
place name. Yeah, it's fishing.
Nice, very cool. Yeah.
I can even show you the document.
Yeah.
Official US place.
Yep.
Cool. Well, it looks like the road construction.
So have fun, gang.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Jim.
Charlie's Dragon says being the state paleontologist has to come with some perks, like driving to and from the quarry. Yeah. It's a really short walk. Like, it's like a little bit. I'll be taking down all my streaming gear here. As you can see, we take the shade tarps down at night, in case we get any strong wind or any rain. So notice how the shade tarps are put over the quarry like this, so that we're trying to keep things as dry as we can. You can never keep it completely dry, but at least it'll keep the rain from off of this directly. And we also have that drainage ditch dug through there, although it's gotten deeper. It is gonna pool in the middle, I guess. But what can you do, you know? So, yeah. Good stuff. Talking about his knees, each one has a nickname, because Jim heavily damaged both of his knees doing field work in different places. He named them, which happened. So one of them is Brazos, after the Brazos River in Texas, where Jim was working on. He actually helped discover the tsunami deposits for when the asteroid hit at the end of the Age of Dinosaurs. So all of these rip-up clasts and all kinds of stuff like that. He's like, this is not a storm bed, this is a tsunami that occurred at this time. So Jim was kind of at the cutting edge of finding evidence for that asteroid impact. And the other one, his other knee is called Drumheller, because he was working in Drumheller, Alberta, one of the world's most famous dinosaur-bearing regions. And doing fieldwork up there, he kind of blew out one of his knees. So, yeah, what's the phrase? It's not the years, it's the mileage. I think that holds true for a lot of paleontologists. You know, a lifetime in the field can definitely take a toll on your body. Jim is living proof of that, but he's still going. 50 years of digging dinosaurs on the Colorado and Utah and New Mexico. There's few places that Jim hasn't been. He's had an illustrious career, and it's wonderful to be able to hang out with him and learn from him. And Jim and I have got some projects that we're going to be working on, and I'm very excited about that. So. With that said, it's just me here now at the quarry. So if anybody else has any really pressing questions, type in. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll take this opportunity to drink some more water. Keep myself hot. Mmm. 105.4 in the shade. It's toasty. And NPC Upvote says, what are the historical milestones of paleontology and where are we now? Oh, God. Like, oh, tell us about the history of your entire science and what is the current state of paleontology? We might save that question for tomorrow. Sorry. We've been digging up fossils as paleontologists. I'm using the paleontological we. We've been doing this since the beginning of the 19th century, pretty much, although fossils had been found by earlier people. The word paleontology was coined in 1830, I think. But paleontology really started to come into its own in like the 1840s, maybe. 1830s and 1840s. And the first dinosaurs, well, the word dinosaur was coined in 1842. Dinosaur science kind of started, dinosaur science in particular, only a small subset of paleontology, started in Europe, mostly in Britain. We've been finding dinosaurs and naming them, studying them, figuring them out ever since, and that work continues until today. That's all I'll say for right now. We are gonna wrap up this stream. Who else is live right now doing some science here on... Let's see here. Who have we got? Pickings might be a little slim at the moment. But we're gonna go right into Yogurt Garrel, who's... She's a friend of the channel. And just an all-around cool person. I think she'll be thrilled to have a big ol' raid. Yogurt Garrel. Yogurt Garrel's a lovely human being. She really likes birds. Hopefully we'll see some as she does this IRL walk. I think through a park or through a forest up in Canada. And Yogurt was my camera woman when I did a stream with my Velociraptor. Live Velociraptor, can you believe it? At TwitchCon a couple years ago. So we're gonna go right into her and see what she's up to. Everybody, thank you for your viewership today, for your questions. Thank you for those phenomenal raids, holy cow. Thank you for your enthusiasm and your interest in fossil science. I really appreciate you being here. It's wonderful to be able to share this kind of thing with you. And that's only possible because of the financial support of viewers like you, subscribers and subscription gifters and cheerers, people who donate on Ko-Fi and Patreon and platforms like you, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful. Likewise to the moderators who keep these streams a safe and welcoming community for anybody, regardless of their level of expertise, interest, or their age, or their background, or their language skills, or whatever else. Mods, I appreciate you more than you know. I'm gonna go right into Yogurt Garrel, and I hope to see everybody tomorrow, same time, same place, for some more paleontologizing. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.